Once again, this is your boy Basement Boxing Talk coming to you live. We're going to play this intro. We're going to get into this show. I thank you very much.
He say, Basement Boxing Talk. You know I'm a warrior, right? Fuck that, I'm a champion. Basement Boxing Talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved. Basement Boxing Talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved. I'm feeling cocky. I hit a thing to beat the ring, a boof up like I'm Rocky. ASAP, any opponent think they can stop me. I stay stride, chop, tryna learn my moves so you can copy. Gotta give it your all. Gotta give it your all. When you're back against the wall. When you're back against the wall. When you the one people call. When you the one people call. To keep greatness involved. To keep greatness involved. Basement Boxing Talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved. Basement Boxing Talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved.
This is your boy Basement Boxing Talk coming to you live. And let's get this show started. Let me change the brand. Wow, hold on. Here we go. There we go. We got my good brother Brandon in the building, Brandon County in the building. Waiting to see if everybody else show up on the panel. Good afternoon, good brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself? I can't complain, brother.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Can't complain my damn self.
That's good. Yeah, like I said, I'm about to enjoy this 3-day weekend and just that's about it, man.
Yes,
Like I
sir.
said, whenever I get time to do like this, just to sit and relax, I'm good. So
Yeah, we got a couple different topics we trying to stick to today.
okay.
Then we can go on about any other thing. We're gonna see if these other brothers come in the building this afternoon. But some of the main topics that I wanted to touch up on today, and I wanted to get everybody's opinions is on and what's really going on in boxing. I want to know people's opinion today. You know, they input on what's really going on in boxing. This last week, man, it's been some crazy stuff going on in boxing, and we're gonna touch on a little bit of that too. I wanted
Okay.
I wanted to touch upon. I wanted to discuss what's going on with the WBC. I want to discuss what's going on with the WBC, and I want to discuss too. Time is running out once again for this purse bid for Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. Would you do you think, or do you guys out here listening, do you guys think that this deal would be done before a purse bid? That's something that we also can talk about. And
Okay.
without all that, with everything going on in boxing, from the WBC, uh, letting people test positive and still letting them fight, from the WBA stripping all the internal I think it was the internal belts they took. They stripped
Interim, but
everybody
yeah, they got rid of the interim titles.
interim title. And with all this going on, or does anybody see, or can somebody predict maybe some wild happening in the Wilder and Fury fight? Or possibly do you guys even think the Wilder and Fury fight is gonna happen with all this nonsense
Uh,
that's coming on in boxing right now?
well, let me know whenever you're ready to chat it up. We can start talking. Uh, I
Hey,
can give you my
hey,
2 cents
me
on
and
it.
you so far, so hey, whenever you're ready, we can go, bro. Whenever you're ready, we can
Um,
go.
okay. Well, I guess the first thing is if we're gonna talk about well, let's bring up the first subject you kind of want to talk about.
It doesn't matter. Let's see. All right, let's talk.
I
What's
know
really
you
going
said,
on?
I don't think
All
anything
right,
is
we'll
really
say
going
that.
on with boxing. I'm
We'll
sorry.
say that. We'll say that. Let's
Okay.
just let's discuss what just happened this week with the WBC. Now to bring up a few things.
Okay. Well, I think the first thing is I actually like the fact that the fight's still happening and they ruled the way that they ruled. Um, I mean, to give transparency, so it's not like I'm hiding anything. I am a matchmaker and a manager in boxing, so it does benefit me when they make rulings like this because it creates the precedent where if it happens again, it'll be hard for them to now say, okay, we got to go this other direction because there is this precedent that they just said saying, hey, we're going to do A, B, and C. So now you can't go back and say, well, no, now we're going to do D, E, and F. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I for one, I kind of like it. Obviously, it's not necessarily the most fair thing, but I think what we got to realize in boxing, has never really been a fair sport. You know, everybody doesn't get the same treatment. Everybody doesn't get the same protection. So I think anybody who was a long term fan of boxing doesn't look at this and say, "Oh, this is no, this is boxing. Boxing is not an easy sport to follow. It's not an easy sport to work in. It's not an easy sport to explain because it doesn't have a governing body that says, look, we have a commissioner and we have this and that. It's whatever territory that has a commission can have their own rules and they can have their own approach to things. And you have sanctioning bodies and you have other fighters involved in it. It becomes a lot harder to understand. And I think that's one of the hard things that I think fans are going to have to deal with because yeah, it won't make this. It's not going to always make sense. 90% of the time, it's not going to make any sense whatsoever. And I think you have to look at it from the sense that boxing is about. I'd say boxing is about money, but boxing is like anything. It's about you got to make sure you can still generate revenue. You can't generate revenue, then that's an issue. If that makes sense.
Yep. Okay, now there it is. I understand what you're saying. But wasn't it the WBC that was really pushing for all these VADA testings when they really started doing the VADA testing?
Uh,
I know
WBC
Mark
was one of the first ones.
you know, he was one of the guys that was stating that, they stood behind the testing and everything. And then this is the thing. When Canelo tested positive, didn't he have a WBC strap?
Now that I don't remember when he might have when he had it against his fight for what's his name Triple G. He might have had something.
Right.
I cannot remember. But I think the thing you got to look at is that when it does come to having their ruling is going to be subjective. It's probably not. They're probably going to have a one and done ruling because what we got to look at is that we got Vada and you got the other one, WADA, that anybody can use, and unfortunately, the commissions are the one that can say a fight is happening or not. The WBC, WBA, the sanctioned bodies can prevent a fighter from fighting. All they can do is say, look, we're not going to put you in our rankings. We might not sanction the bout as an actual title bout. That's all they can do. Anything else after that, they don't have any authority over. So I think that's one thing that we gotta make sure we address, or not address, we clear up.
Okay, I got a question for you. So when you saying when Canelo tested positive, which sanction body is the one that gave him the 6-month suspension?
I think it was the WBC. Don't quote me on it because I'm not 100% sure. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I think it was the WBC. I know if I'm not mistaken, the WBC belt was on the line as well. So even if he didn't have the title itself, he was affected by the ruling of testing positive. But it does also come down to what the commission said, because the commission are the ones who say, look, we really are the ones that can punish the fighter. The sanctioned bodies can only do so much to you as far as it goes to what's in their sanctioning body. Anything else, they don't have the control or authority over.
Okay.
So,
hey, not to interrupt, I just want to salute my
No,
brother
go ahead.
Coming in the building. Salute to you, good brother G5. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so no. The only thing I was gonna say, so I think that's
What's good, my brother? My bad, I was on mute.
What's going on? No, you
good, B? What's good, basement?
What's good, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Chloe in the background talking about basement. Oh, what is that? Shut up, girl. Her birthday, she in here lit.
Right. Tell her happy birthday.
They say happy birthday, Chloe.
Many more.
Boy, yeah, that's all I'm on, man. Busy day, been up, moving around and grooving. What we on, man? I missed the first 10 minutes or so.
Oh no, we discussing this WBC thing right now, and are they still letting this fight go on? And,
are you talking about We Believe Cheaters? Oh yeah, WBC. Oh yeah, yeah. That's all they do. You know what I'm saying? They back and believe cheaters. And it's funny how the ruling, you know what I'm saying? So I tell people, hey, the rules of engagement different when you black. Always will and forever will be. That, exactly. You know what I'm saying? If Earl or Wild or anybody else top dirty, shit, they would have been on CNN, ESPN, Channel 5, Channel 11. You know what I'm saying? The whole shebang. So,
hey, it's funny that you say that too. It's funny that you say that because me and Brandon was talking and I was asking him, and we were discussing like when the WBC is the one I think is the one kind of opposed suspension on Canelo, but when Floyd was boxing and this VADA testing first really came out, the WBC Mario, whatever his name is, he was
Mario.
He was speaking so highly. Oh yeah, we want everybody to get tested, and we want boxing on fair game and all this and all that. And then it just happened like, okay, we just seen this over this past week. The boxer Texas positive on two samples, and the commission still tells him he can still fight. The WBC ain't giving him no type of penalty for this or nothing. And it's just crazy, like, man. And I say that to say this. Okay, like he said, race almost plays a factor in it a little bit because it's a little bit off topic, but it's still on the same thing. They had a high school football team up here in Ohio, and they went down last weekend and played some guys, I think in Texas somewhere. I think it might have been Texas. Anyway, however, they get blew the fuck out, 56-0. All of a sudden, since the game was on ESPN, all of a sudden the news reporters here in Cincinnati, and this school is not even in Cincinnati, they launched an investigation on the school. Like, well, who was this school that played IMG? Because They got blew out 56-0, and they played 2 games in 3 days. All of a sudden, you got a whole list on this school. This school is not registered. It's a charter school. It's an online school. The coach is out on bond for domestic violence. What the fuck? That got to do with the price of tea in China, but it's because these kids were black. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I think part of the problem also that we have to look at is, and I was talking to somebody about this, is there's a difference in journalism and people who just have a YouTube page, you know? And I think as far as it goes to what's going on with the WBC and their decision, you know, it's unfair what they're doing. But I think the problem, like, and we said this earlier before G5 got on, boxing has never been a fair sport. You know, boxing has never been like everybody gets equal treatment, everybody gets treated fair. Boxing has always been a sport where certain people will get certain things, certain people will get screwed. Race plays a factor, money plays a bigger factor, and that's just it's just what the sport is, you know. And I'm not defending it. It just, I think a lot of fans are upset because they see just how this sport operates. Because the sport operates that way. Boxing has always been that way. It's going to always be that way. Unfortunately, it's not going to change. You're not going to see that change in it. You may see a little bit here and there, but there's nothing going to last forever. And I think that's the thing that I think a lot of fans are going to have to accept.
I understand what you're saying. It's just something you gotta say. Wow. Yeah, because I mean, I kind of, because I'm leaning to what G5 was saying. He was saying, like, you know, if this would have been Earl, Wilder, or Tank Davis, it would have been headline news everywhere. Everywhere. He tested positive. Ooh. But just because the guy is not African American, it's like it's swept up under the table. And it's like the WBC backing it because they're Mexican based and he's a Mexican fighter. Canelo was a Mexican fighter. It's just a lot of bull crap.
Yeah, it's a black eye for boxing, but no, like I said, though, it's boxing. That's the thing. It's boxing has never been a sport that says, "Hey, we're here to be completely fair." You know, it's if any sport is the exact opposite of that, it is going to be boxing. I hate to say that, but boxing is not a fair sport. I know people love for. I mean, we would all love for boxing to be that fair sport, but it just not isn't.
Right.
If that makes any sense, you know, it just isn't, because boxing isn't ruled by one body. It's ruled by so many things that it's really easy to have these things happen where it's like, okay, you guys dropped the bomb. You obviously got it wrong, you know. And they're gonna. I mean, the only thing they can say is, well, look, this is our commission. Go next door if you don't want it, and that's it.
Right.
You know. But like I said earlier, though, I think the good thing about it is that since the commission and the WBC both ruled in this way, it now sets a precedent to where if you're going to have this happen in the future and you're going to want to try to do something different, then you're going to have to justify your reasoning behind it.
And that's what, that's what not that I really want to see that, but I do want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't really want to see nobody test positive, but say for instance, I'll make a name up. John Henry comes up and he has a title fight or whatever. He has a fight and he tested positive. If they try to suspend this guy, so then okay. So listen, what if they're not? If it's not going to be any repercussions behind doing enhancement drugs. Why not? Then people gonna say like, why not do it then? Why not cheat? If you're a cheater, if you're a cheater down, if you're a cheater within yourself, then some people gonna be like, well, he just did it and he tested positive. Nothing happened. The fight happened. So, like you say, if this happens again, a fight must happen. But it's just like you opening the game for people to cheat.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is that you do create that thing where it's like, well, wait a minute. If you want to be consistently inconsistent, then I'm gonna use it against you. Uh, Now, I think the one thing about this that's going to be different is I don't, I am not familiar with this commission. It's a tribal commission, so it's not a commission that deals with boxing a lot. So more than likely, they're looking at the revenue it's going to bring in, the money, and not necessarily, hey, we have to make sure that we maintain our integrity in boxing because hey, we do boxing all the time. So they won't have that. No, it's going to be a different issue. Now, I do think the WBC part in this is going to be telling because, like I said, now that they make the decision based on what they said, that the second they go left on any of this, whether it's a black fighter, white fighter, Hispanic fighter, you're opening the gate for someone to come in and say, wait a minute, why is this different? Why is my punishment different from this guy's punishment? And they'd be absolutely right in asking that question and possibly looking at legal action. So that's why I say I'm happy for it because hey, now if that's the case, as long as if the commission says it's good, then it's good. I don't want to hear anything about integrity. I'm not gonna say I don't want to hear anything about integrity and clean, but now it's like okay, if the commission's okay with it, it's good to go. That's that's the way I see it.
Oh, man. So what stops what stops a cheater from cheating?
I mean,
well,
the thing
shit. The commission they help and provide the cheating, so shit. I mean, the boxing commission, the promotional network, they all in cahoots. So true, they all need to be under fire, especially the WBC or the WBA. You know what I'm saying? But if they in cahoots with each other, then shoot, long as they still getting their bread, they don't give a damn.
So okay. So what stops the cheater?
They don't care about lives. They use fighters as instruments. You're gonna play your note, you're gonna play your tune, and then when your job is done, it's it. You know what I'm saying? Who we got next? Are they gonna keep it going?
Yeah, it's hard. It's gonna, like you just kind of said, it's gonna be hard to try to have a clean sport because boxing isn't ruled by one group. It's not a union. It's you got a commission for every state, maybe sometimes every territory. You got money involved. You got, you don't have any way that you can literally say, hey, I'm going to police this sport and police where everybody is going to be treated the same or anything. You don't have any of that.
Every entity has its own president and vice president. Like,
yeah,
damn, you know what I'm saying? You'll never be on the same accord because every president or every vice president gonna have a different ideology how they want to run their business. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, there's no
I feel that.
universal anything really. Yeah. So I think that's the one thing. And the thing is with people who are taking PEDs, a lot of fighters are taking something that maybe they shouldn't be taking. And, that's not saying they should be taking it or it's okay, but you're not going to get this clean sport until you say, look, we got to have something that is universal, federal, something that we can say it'll stop you from cheating. Because if I know, for example, like you're in Ohio, I'm in Texas. Texas is different from Ohio when it comes to certain things. Ohio is different from Detroit, Michigan, from Michigan. Tennessee, Kentucky. So if I know that, look, you guys don't use this type of testing, but I do. If I'm a fighter and want to cheat, I know where to say, look, let's do the fight here. because they're not going to test for it, or they may be okay with it because they don't really have a boxing commission that knows what they're doing, or they don't do a lot of boxing for it. It becomes very easy,
Right.
you know.
Then the fucked up part about it all though, man, is like if they had the rules and restrictions like the track and field runners, boy, boxing would be in a whole better place. Cause track and field don't play when it comes to teeth. They your ass getting banned, or you gonna sit out. Ain't gonna be no a quick comeback. You gonna sit your ass down. For real. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing about it. But that's the thing about it is that it's so hard because, like I said, with boxing, dude, it's such you don't really always know what's going on. As with like
Nope.
track and field, it's a little bit different because track and field say, look, we don't care. This is what's going to happen in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And with boxing, it's just boxing doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm. Right. You would think with it boxing being a violent sport that they'll take it more serious. You know what I'm saying? Track and field, they out here competing, running and throwing against each other, and they take it like they take it like it's first degree murder on anything. Like they still busting Justin Gatlin balls for 2002, 2000 shit. You know what I'm saying? People still can't get off of that, and we in 2021 now. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
So it's like,
You're right.
they just let
Salute
you
to the
know.
good brother Black Star Sports TV in the building. Just joined us. Well, salute, my good brother.
What's going on? Salute, brothers. Good to see y'all, man.
Hey, Black Star.
A little late this morning, man. Sorry about that, but I had to without making a little run, man. Got a little setback there, but hey, we got here, man. So y'all was talking about the drug situation going on.
My dog
Yeah.
Black Star, my boy.
What it do? What it do, man?
About to
Man.
roll up, y'all know me. Get right.
Yeah, man.
I got a busy day ahead of me, man.
What? Oh, you ain't coming through the H Town, is you?
Shit, I wish I was traveling out there. A lot of them boys and came out here for this Coachella shit, so
Yeah,
I
man.
linked up with some of them last night. So shit.
Hey, that's what it is, man. Yeah, gonna have to holler at you though, man. I gotta holler at you about something anyway. I'm gonna hit you up. Yeah, man. This stuff crazy though, man. I guess you're talking about the Oscar Valdez and stuff, right?
Yeah, we was just discussing the WBC and what was going on. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
No. I'm just saying, yeah. But like I said, I think the only people who are really shocked by this are fans who are new to boxing. Because anybody who's watched boxing for the last 30 years, they've seen something like this happen before, where boxing made a decision for something that doesn't make sense, or it's just like I guess I can say it's just not fair. Like boxing has never been a fair sport. So yeah, that's my only thing on it.
Yeah, it's been filthy. Any organization that's ran by the mob, what the hell you think they gonna do? It's gonna be dirty. What do the mob do? A whole bunch of sketchy, dirty shit. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna do whatever they gotta do to gain a positive advantage over any opposition. Steroids is something that they gonna do. Anytime you use diuretic substance, that ain't nothing but flushing your like dialysis to your blood, cleaning out your blood system. That's all that shit is. And the only reason you use that is to pump some dirty shit out your shit, some HGH, some human growth hormones. I was training for the 2016 Olympics. I'm still a registered USA track and field runner. I know how that shit go. I don't fuck with those no shit like that, but I know how the game go, especially with them roids. I'm like, man, nah, Jack. But it's where we at. I mean, you ain't even gotta watch the boxes for the last 30. You can go back the last 15 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's still cheap. Still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised by none of this shit. People just gotta wake up and know that this shit is gonna forever be going on in boxing because there's too many hats in this motherfucker. Too many networks, too many people that's in a position of power, and it's not one set person who has the power. You know what I'm saying? Dana White is over the UFC, so he in full control. Boxing ain't gonna let one entity control the whole thing. Hell no. Nope, not happening.
Yeah,
Hey,
boxing doesn't have
well,
anything like that. Like boxing doesn't have a lot of rules that. Yeah, if you really look at it, boxing doesn't have a lot of protection or things are there. Like you have other things. Like you can say, hey, we have the NBA, they have the NBA, collective bargaining agreement. So as a group, we say yes or no to this. You have all these other things. Boxing, you have a handful of rules, and it's up to you if you want to listen to them, not listen to them, whatever. And that's it, unfortunately, And I think a lot of people think that boxing has protection or has these things, and boxing has none of that. Nothing close to it.
But it's funny, just like G5 and you guys were saying, how in track and field, a woman, she just smoked a joint. And they banned her from the Olympics. They banned her from, It was just, and then the whole world came down on her all for smoking a joint that's legalized in the state that she's from and is not illegal to do. But here this guy tested positive for PED. And it's not on ESPN. We the only people who talking about it. We the only one, YouTubers the only ones talking about it. Because if you turn ESPN, they not talking about this guy just tested positive for PED and the WBC, and they just said, hey, we're gonna sweep this under the table and don't have your fight. Nothing happens.
Yeah. Man, they gotta be like the WBC, man, change the rule. It's legal now.
So that's what, and when you jumped in, when you jumped in on the show, that's what I was just talking to Brandon and G5 about. I say, well, what stops a cheater from cheating?
It ain't the
If there's
WBC.
no consequences, to it, what stops a cheater from cheating?
Yeah. Hey, WBC show ain't gonna do it, man, because all Mauricio Suleiman gonna do is say, hey, look, it's only 3 Red Bulls.
Nothing, because Suleiman and Reynoso are the boxing pharmacists. Shit, he not gonna change one steroid regimen for 4 or 5 different fighters. That's too much work. He gonna keep the same shit. I said, people open their eyes. What Valdez got popped with is the same shit that Canelo used to get his shit out of his system. Why all of a sudden now you want to get in the 10-week vital testing program? You know why? Because you done cycled off and got the shit out your system where they ain't gonna show up. So now you want to piss in everybody cup. Yeah, sit your ass down. We see the play with our eyes closed, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So okay. So we say to say this. Didn't Andy Reeves go over there to that gym too?
Yeah.
Now he got a six pack. I ain't making this up.
Man, I'm saying, it just got me thinking now, like, man, hold on. Everybody who's going over here and had wins. I don't think none of their fighters in the face of defeat have it.
And the killing part about it, that boy went from the Michelin Man to the Gold Gems logo in a year and a half, bro. Hell no. Crack cocaine ain't gonna do that for you. No, not muscle mass. No, bro.
Yeah, he messed up, man. He had a golden opportunity for sponsorship. He could have went to Michelin and been the new Doughboy. Remember the Michelin Man with the round?
Yeah.
He missed his money on that one, man. Yeah,
they gave that boy they gave him a new motherboard. Changed his whole system out.
Remember when he first went there and he was there for I don't know how long. He lost 20 pounds. I'm like, who give a damn? I can lose 20 pounds, in a couple weeks, and he's been there all this time, and now all of a sudden now, it just took hold now. He just he's gonna be fighting welterweight next week.
Hey man, I got an assumption. I got an assumption for you guys. What you guys think about this? If they just let this happen in boxing, salute to the good brother Martin Nash in the building. He said, "What's up, fellas?"
What's up, Mark?
If they just let this situation happen in boxing, And we got the big fight coming up next month with Wilder and Fury, what we supposed to be having.
Yeah, for WBC, right?
For a WBC title.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Since I'm rooting for Wilder, I'm gonna say it like this. Who's to say Fury don't come in this fight? Gone off whatever the fuck now.
Yeah, because now that's
like Brandon say, they will still have to honor the fight because you can't treat. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, here's the only thing though.
You're not on
Vegas
even playing fields no more, man.
But here's the only difference. Vegas is much different. I don't know this tribe, so I can't say how they operate, but Vegas is different. Vegas has always been one of the few states where it's like, look, when it comes to boxing, they've always been they've always been above board because they don't necessarily boxers need them. They don't necessarily need boxers to be successful in what's going on. If I'm making any sense. So I think if there's any issues or anything when it comes to Fury and Wilder, the body's not going to rule the same way that this commission did. You know what I mean? I think with Wilder and Fury, they never had an issue with anybody testing positive in competition. So I don't think this time it will happen. I think if anybody does test positive and it's in Vegas, Vegas will do what they usually do, and Vegas usually says, look, we're going to suspend you, we're going to punish you, and you're not going to box. You know, Vegas and Britain are the two places that when it comes to failed drug tests, they are really above board and like, no, this isn't going to happen. End of story.
Yeah. But hey, remember after the rematch, man, there was like the rematch that was in Vegas, man. It was rumors went around. It was never proven because the drug test came back. Everything was okay, but a lot of people felt like Fury was under some influence of something, you know. So it's like I get what you're saying, but I know on that last one, man, it was under some shady circumstances, and I don't know, and he didn't look like the same Fury, man. He something was on the up and up. You know, we know the issue of the bottle. You know, he was trying to avoid the water, supposedly or whatever. But I don't know, man. Now boxing now, I can't trust nobody. You know, something fugazi went on, man, and we still trying to figure it out. And everybody looking forward to, October, hoping that it does happen. You know, now I'm like, I don't know. Because, Fury didn't be looking for every loophole they can find, man, to slip out, get out of it or whatever, man. Who knows what it is? Now you hear this, they done opened it up now so he can take advantage of the new rule now by the WBC, Suleiman. You know, he's so friendly to work with these certain fighters, you know. But that whole situation with the Ronaldo camp, though, man, that whole thing is a disgrace to boxing, man. There should be nobody. And where these MXBC boys talking all that shit they've been talking for the last year or so, out here about Mexican fighters and all that shit, they ought to be ashamed for this bullshit, man. Because this ain't the first time. Every time they get, everything, it's illegal, and when they get caught, it's illegal, and all of a sudden, oh, no, well, now it's legal when they get caught. But if anybody else do something out there in this shit, man, they got something for the consequences. Or they're traps, or they're terrible for boxing. Or they doing this, and they need this, they need that. But when these motherfuckers do something, oh no. You see, it was only 3 Red Bulls. It's really all it is. Nah, motherfucker, it was illegal. It was illegal. Go about the rules and the laws and enforcing those things and keeping the sport, keeping the sanctity of the sport together. Nobody seems to have an interest in that because it's all about this Mexican super team that they building over here. We got Eddie Reynoso, the great trainer. We got Canelo Alvarez, who won't fight certain motherfuckers, but he's the best. And then you got, Oscar Valdez. You got the Pillsbury Doughboy who done came over and been revamped all of a sudden and everything. This shit is crazy, man. And then they still want. Don't forget the little sissy boy, Brian Garcia.
Don't forget Louis Neary. You know what I'm saying? He's 32.
Yeah. I mean, it makes all that stuff suspect. Man. Everybody's power suspect. You know, I give Eddie Reno some credit. I always thought he was one of the best trainers to throw left hook. But now I gotta revamp that because I'm like, man, I don't know. It's something fugazi down here. They got a whole lot of stuff. And then here you Canelo Alvarez, you got millions of dollars and you got millions more coming in. But you only meat you can eat is the Mexican meat. You can't get your steak flew in from Paris or nothing like that. You got to get the Mexican meat. That's the only meat you can eat. But you're supposed to be living in the U.S. now. But you got to have that Mexican meat though. Shit, man, it's crazy, man. People keep that stuff wrong. But I don't blame Caleb Plant for saying what he did. And I gotta shout out Caleb Plant on that, man. They keeping the real G on his ass. They keeping the foot on his throat. You know, fuck all that shit y'all talking. You said this shit. We supposed to be rolling. Let's get it. I love it. Hey, get it.
Hey, look at Suleiman energy. When Suleiman can handle the steroid accusation. You know what I'm saying? Because him and his team well versed in that. Fury had the steroid accusation, cocaine, and gloves. That's too much shit. You see what he said when they came out? He didn't back Fury like that. Well, you know, they're in arbitration. I don't really have nothing to say on it. You know what I'm saying? All this type of shit. Yeah. But when it came to your people that's of your kind, oh, you know, no, there's no punishment, there's no nothing. Like his energy different. He don't care about Fury. Fury is just a piece right there just to bring more attention and money for them. If he really was cared like how he trying to protect Valdez in the Reynoso camp, he would have been full bore behind Tyson Fury. And they gonna give a fuck about Tyson Fury? He don't.
That's true, man.
He really don't. So I look at what people say in their actions after something happens. And then when something else happens with another person or who might be speak their dialect or something of that nature, yeah, it's different. Everybody over there speaks Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Look how he aided Canelo and what he wants to do. When Canelo said, I want to be undisputed, all of a sudden they come in full throttle. We're going to throw the belt in with that title. You fight this bum over here. Then we're going to let you fight a guy who had 1 or 2 years and got knocked out by the last champion. We're going to let you fight him as a mandatory. I mean, come on, man. I mean, they just rolled out the carpet for him. Here, just whatever you want to do. You take it, Canelo, sure. Everybody just lines up. Here you go. Here you go. You know, I mean, it's time for the shit to be called out, man. I mean, the boxing is great because of the grind that the fighters go through to go out here and bring you the best fights and get the best wins. It's not sitting there. This is the one fighter that I've seen that I really can't compare anybody else to him. That money is thrown to this guy without any. He don't have to negotiate. It's guaranteed money, flop, everything. And then you wonder why the guy's sour like that. Because Canelo wasn't like this in the beginning with his fight choices and everything. I thought he was really trying to he still was avoiding certain fighters, and he's still doing that today. So I don't know. I could be wrong. But I just thought that he was more hungry, more likely to go out there and have the best fight. And all of a sudden now, man, you know, he ain't seeming to do that, man. It's all about it. This is easy money. This is the easy fight. And everybody cool with that in boxing, but that's holding boxing up. See, if he is the fighter that they keep saying that he is, then he would be like Roy Jones right now. There would be no question because he would have already fought the Charlos. He would have already fought Boo Boo Andre. He would have fought all the guys that everybody wants him to fight. If he fights all them guys, who's next? Who's next for him to fight? David Benavidez and stuff, you know? Who's next? Ain't nobody. He'd be sitting in the same position that Roy Jones was sitting in before he went to heavyweight. Because it would have been no doubt who the best fighter in the world is. But you leave the doubt there, but you keep going over here to get all this money from these 25 million, every time. Free money. You know, you can fight a guy who ain't 1 or 2 years and they still gonna pay you the same amount. I mean, that's crazy, man. But that's the way it's set up for them. And then when people get told, well, how come the fight time getting made and everything like that? Look at that. But nobody want to blame the Canelo situation. Nobody do, because now the money done soured them. The hunger gone. You know, I mean, Marvelous Marvin Hagler told you, man, it's hard to get up and train when you're sleeping in satin sheets. And he definitely got some satin sheets. He done got boats and yachts, and you see him out there with the golf car. All of a sudden now he bougie as hell now. This is a guy that grew up in the gutters of Mexico. All of a sudden now he's bougie. He's eating caviar and shit. You know, come on, man. He's another dude now. But then we're going to still believe that a guy like that is going to be more hungry than a Jamel Charlo or something at that moment. Like when he trains, it's gonna be automatic. He just gonna beat him. No doubt about it. You think these young hungry guys who ain't tasted that don't want that right there, and you give him an opportunity? He ain't trying to do that in no way, shape, or form. And it goes right down the line. Because look at Ryan Garcia, another one. He's supposed to be this great thing, and he still hasn't fought anybody to prove nothing. But he still got all this clout. Andy Ruiz, he's getting the clout. He's ranked number 2 in the WBC. For what? For what? You see the clout that goes along with this whole little thing that's going on over here, and it's all at the top of boxing. If I get over here, I'm gonna be at the top, and I ain't gonna have to fight nobody. I mean, that right there gotta stop, man. And boxing fans can't support that. When fighters is out here moving like that, man, it need to be lights on. Boop. Everybody put the spotlight, man. What you doing over here? You ain't fighting nobody. You ain't doing nothing. Ryan Garcia, what the hell supposed to been wrong with him? Well, I went to Hawaii and I had too much pussy. I mean, what is the problem with him? Where he been? Get your ass back in the fucking ring, man. You talking about you gonna beat all these people and you gonna do all this and you the best and all that? Come on, man. Shit, there's people out here ready to fight. Devin Haney still running around talking madness about it. Talking about, yeah, you talk all that trash, but you still ain't trying to fight me. But you know what? He still don't reply to that statement. And people got to call him out for that, man. I've been doing that. That's been my pleasure to get on him. I can't stand them little ones that's in the corner trying to be a little pretty boy talking mad trash. Yeah, you ain't fighting nobody. You got to fight somebody on my watch. I don't give a damn.
Salute to the good brother Bruce Goes in the building. Salute.
Salute, Bruce. What it do, my brother?
Yes, sir. I was going to say that too because Ryan Garcia jumped over to that camp. And it's like, damn. And hey, I feel just like you feel, Black, because I was just giving Eddie that all the credit in the world. Like, man, can't nobody throw a left hook like them motherfucker. Everybody in their whole camp throwing a motherfucker. But that motherfucker probably has PED.
Now we know the secret. Now we know. And we don't know what else going to pop up in the future that they're going to turn around and say it's legal the next day. I mean, look how weird that was, man. The shit came out, everybody talked about it, and all of a sudden they said, It's like 3 Red Bulls. You're good. We're not going to take the title from you. You can fight everything. It's no problem. Okay, well, what was all this shit 2 days ago about it being illegal was about then? Who made the determination for that? Was it one person that did that, or was it a whole bunch of guys got together and said, okay, this right here, we're going to put on this list saying that you can't take this because this is a banned substance. Now, all of a sudden, one guy can look at that and go, nah, that's 3 Red Bulls. It's okay.
From what they say, salute to TS Boxer, too.
Tyrone, what it is, brother?
From what they say, it was the ABC and I guess the WBC. It's just, that's wild.
What was it? I lost my signal for a second. What were you guys talking about? Because I had to log back in for a second.
Man, we still cooking on the same thing about this WBC. How this Canelo camp is the only camp just getting passes. They're getting free passes.
Yeah, they got a whole sanctioning body that support their moves no matter what. And cover for them, do whatever it is to, when the pressure was starting to build and everybody like, man, let's boycott the fight. Let's don't do this. Let's do it. They hurry up. Whoop, it's legal. It's okay. So now that's supposed to squash all that. And then they can come and tell you with a straight face, it's legal. It's legal. Wait a minute. It wasn't legal when they made the fight. But now it's legal. All of a sudden today it's magic. We're gonna add this new substance in here to be legal that was illegal while they was in training camp. Nobody see a problem with it.
Yes, Boxing says Valdez was there to get the run over the Burchett. Apparently he had COVID before the fight. He shouldn't have got hurt by that midget.
Hey, first of all, man, they shouldn't even been fighting no damn way. That should have been Shakur Stevenson in there knocking out who the fuck ever. And if it wasn't Shakur, it should have been fucking Gervonta Davis. And why Gervonta Davis ain't undisputed in the division, I have no idea, because he was clearly the best. Ain't nobody going to beat him at that weight class anyway. So I don't even understand why Burchett was even allowed to have a title and to walk around here with the #1 ranking over top of Gervonta Davis. For what?
That's at 130, right?
130.
So, 130.
That's at 130. Yeah,
right.
I think. But part of you gotta look at it though is that if you're a champion, you don't get ranked in other the other championship divisions. Plus, when it does come to the ranking system, it's easy to move up and down just because. It doesn't really require an explanation. So a lot of guys are ranked, and it doesn't make sense because none of the section bodies have to tell you why they rank the way they rank. So it's like another one of those things with boxing where it's a headache.
Yeah, because like when BoxRec ranked the champions, they always had Burchell #1 in the divisions, and they had like Javante second, third, or whatever. And I thought that was the craziest, because I'm like, who the hell Burchell ever beat to even make me consider to think that he could be better than him? I ain't, I don't get it. That fight should have happened, man. And Shakur Stevenson been calling him out for the longest, just like all the other fighters over there. What they want to do, they want to fight everybody but him. Damn Jamal Hearn, he got to fight him. So the two brothers got to fight. But he been on them other cat's heels for the longest. Them fights don't take place. Another problem in boxing which need to take place, need to be talked about, brought to the forefront. There's plight of some of these young fighters coming up that need to be in a certain place that they're not allowed to get to, who's chasing it, who going after it, he on the heels of these guys, letting these guys know, look, man, I'm on your ass. What's up? Let's get it on. I'm gonna take your belt. I'm better than you. What's up? And telling the world this. Come out, acknowledge it. But you have a champion who has a belt that has a challenger chasing him like that, and he don't have no attention for him. He got other things. Oh, he's young. He's no, man. I don't want to see all this fly swatting shit going on, man. This young buck talking mad shit. It's time to handle that business. That's it. That's what builds the fight. Right there. Oh, man, he said he's going to do this to you. He going to do what you going to do? Oh, man. Oh, they're going to fight on the 17th. Here we come. Popcorn in one hand, ticket in the other, ready. He going to go fight somebody that just came up out of Mexico, journeyman, but they got glorious records, 55 and 2 and 12 or something, you know what I'm saying? Well, damn, I ain't never heard of them because they was all down there, you see. But it sounds nice. 54 and 12. He ain't fought no damn body. That's why the majority of Canelo's record doesn't mean shit to me. Nothing, because he fought them guys, which the majority of them guys, there's so many fighters down there that the overwhelming majority of them suck. And let's just be truthful about it. It's a nice tradition, and I ain't shitting on Mexican as a whole, but I'm just saying, you got to look at it in its totality. If you come out of there, that's like JV boxing. Okay, you're going to run through them. Devin Haney went down there and ran through them. It can happen, but you can get your chops, established real well down there by going through so many fights. But you can do that also in the amateurs where you used to be able to. But to that degree, since they have different rules, you can get a little bit more involved. But that's how we used to do it back then. But our amateur program ain't the same no more. But they can go down there and do that and still get the same type of training. So they'll put that guy on TV and everybody like, oh wow, who's he fighting? This guy here. He just got ranked, 4 days before the fight. So that the fight can be legal. He goes in and beats the guy, and they just bragging about how great the guy is. Come on, man. I'm tired of seeing that shit too. Tired of it. This shit need to be called out, man. These guys need to fight the real fucking contenders they're supposed to fight. And when somebody like Shakur Stevens get on ESPN and tell the world he wants your belt, he wants your cornbread. And y'all talking about, oh, it's okay for this guy to act like he want to dodge and all that. The man said he wants your cornbread, champ. What it gonna be? He wants your cornbread, champ. He don't want nobody else's cornbread. He wants yours. And you allowed to run, duck, and hide and prolong the situation. No, man. No.
But that's the fans' fault, because the thing is, there's fights that we know we want to see. We know we want to see more champions fight more champions and more of these guys who are calling each other out fight each other. But unfortunately, we have allowed, and not everybody, but a lot of fans have allowed themselves to get caught into the politics, to where if you have what happened with Haney and Ryan Garcia this week, right, where they took shots at each other. Okay, you're in the same weight class. You have a challenger and a champion. So why don't you guys fight it out? If you're going to talk on Twitter, fight it out. The problem is that fans will say, well, I'm going to side with Ryan, and fans are going to say, I'm going to side with Haney, and then neither one will fight each other, but they're going to get paid $1 million to fight guys that we don't care for them to fight. And the best thing we can do is say, you know what? If we're not going to fight each other, I'm not going to watch a show. I'm not going to pay for the pay-per-view. I'm not going to buy tickets because
Yeah.
that $1 million is coming from money that I have to put in, time I have to put in. And if
Yeah.
I have to pay for boxing because it's not going to be free on network television, then give me what I want. Don't give me something that I don't want. Give me what I want, and you can have my money. If you're going to give me free smack on Twitter, but not give me the fight in reality, then fans have to say, you know what, enough's enough. Hold the
Yeah,
fighters accountable for the noise they're talking.
totally agree with you. But here's the other problem about that though. Certain fan bases are catered to. And the Canelo fan base and those that come out of Reynoso, all they fans, that people that like that right there, they cater to those people. They cater to them because they'll take anything. They don't need no convincing. Whoever them guys go out there against and looks good against is good with them. They fine. But the moment that you ask any of these guys, well, how come he won't fight Jamal Charlo? Or how come he won't fight Shakur Stevenson or something like that? Oh, they'll be the first to fill in the excuse because they don't want that guy to fight them guys, you know. So it's the fighter and the fan base that likes those fighters. It's a scourge of boxing, and that keeps boxing from growing and getting some of these casuals to come in and take a look. See, people don't not talk about that, you know, because I mean, think about it, man. You got these MXB guys that's running around here in everybody's platform talking all this madness. I mean, the case example of what I mean. No matter what these guys do, they okay. They could have a fight, he throw a punch, and the other guy throw a punch, and both fighters go down. Both fighters stand up, and they say, they got one. You see what I'm saying? There is no fairness, and there's no reality of what just happened in front of you about that guy never loses, no matter what. You know, I can remember years ago, man, coming up, you know, like you know, seeing old fights where guys are fighting there at the end of the fight. You know, he done clearly got his ass whipped, but at the end of the fight, the crowd, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about, man? You just got your motherfucking grill blown up for 12 motherfucking rounds, and you standing here like you fucking undisputed champion or something. And they fan base, yeah, he won. He was running. Look at this motherfucker's face, man. This motherfucker can't even look at you. He gonna have to go get his cataracts checked out. You know, man, this shit is crazy. But that's the kind of stuff that you got and that type of fans that it breeds. See, that's bad for the sport too, you know, because, you know, a lot of times now they'll want to blame the black fan base for something or say that we're this and we're that and whatever, you know. You got that going on, and which is why, you know, it's a battle that we had right here on YouTube with these cats, man. You know, they used to come through the platform. Now I'm over here checking out who disrespecting Latino fighters and shit. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm disrespecting you. You know what I'm saying? So the fight carry out the ring out into the crowd now. You know, since y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna fight in the ring, we're gonna have to do it out here now. You see it, man. It just boggles my mind, man. But that's not good for boxing because boxing doesn't keep the sanctity of boxing the way it should, man. That certain shit should not be allowed. Certain shit should be stated. This guy got his ass whooped. This, you know, everybody got to eat it. But they don't. Oh, man, it's boring. You know, I mean, think about it. You're going to sit here and say that a fighter that goes out here and knocks motherfuckers out, he's boring. But that's the same thing you celebrate anytime a Mexican fighter go out here and knock anybody out. You see how it works? It's always going to work in their favor no matter what. But you got that going out here, and you got a lot of these people writing columns. You know, a lot of these cats is on a column. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look at that. He comes forward. He came forward. You see him coming forward? Yeah, he's coming forward. I mean, that's what it's been reduced to. That's not even really any real boxing knowledge because you could come forward and still get your ass whooped. You could be running into a jab all night. You might be coming forward with one eye shut and your motherfucking lip hanging and two teeth on the floor. But they still talking about he's coming forward. You got to give him points. He's coming forward. It's ridiculous, man. It's like, what is boxing now?
Definitely.
Well, I think boxing is going through the same thing that basketball is going through or has gone through when it comes to having different generations of fans look at something and look at it different. You know, the one thing I would say about boxing is because of what happened with Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, it was basically if you're black and you're not making highlights on ESPN or talking smack, we don't really appreciate who you are. It became easier to sell boxing when it's like, look, either hit in there and kill a guy, bite his ear off, say something stupid, say something witty, and we'll put a camera in your face. You can be good, but we don't want you to be good. We need to be one of these two, or be both of them. Same thing with basketball is where you have all these guys get criticized. Like, well, look, I'm doing this. Yeah, but so-and-so was doing that. That's so-and-so. I mean, it's become something where the tradition of what it was is no longer there. Now, that doesn't mean that the product we have now is horrible, but I think true fans of boxing need to take back the control of boxing, because now you have all these casuals who have more control, and casuals don't know nothing about boxing. Casuals think boxing is whatever it is for the moment. But what they need is they need to say, look, the diehard boxing fans need to stop all the Twitter talking and argument. And when they have a fighter, let's say if I'm trying to think of somebody, I can't think of somebody. If you're going to have, I can't think of something. I'll go back to Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney again.
Yeah, you said Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. You broke out a little bit.
Okay,
bro.
if you're going to tweet and you guys are going to insult each other, then damn it, fight. If you're not going to fight, stop talking. Because every time you talk, you make it harder for real boxing fans to keep the confidence in you, because you're going to say, well, you know what? It's like, right, if I'm saying, I'm going to fight basement boxing, I'm going to fight so-and-so, and I'm going to fight so-and-so. Well, when are you going to do it? Well, let me see when we can do this and this. You know what happens? It's like if you're in Houston or Texas, we call it still, real fans lose respect for you. And what we need to have is, if you're going to talk, walk. You do that, the respect all day.
Yeah. And look at this. Look how successful he was with that. Devin Haney gets in the ring after his fight against Duno. He comes in the ring, stands next to him with the strap right here before everybody. He the champion. There ain't no doubt he the champion. The champion comes in the ring, stands beside you, and say, look, me and you, let's do this. He's giving you the title shot. His fan base is right there. And they take around, they spin, oh, that's a paper belt. That doesn't matter. That's no nothing. I'm going to devalue your belt because I'm the best. But, that, if you're a champ, I'm a champ. If you're a champ, I'm a champ. Right. You a champ, I'm a champ. Nah, motherfucker, I'm the champ. I'm in this motherfucker to whoop your motherfucking ass. I'm going to go fight the Grover, and then I'm going to find the Cookie Monster, and I'm going to fight them guys, and I'm going to turn around, circle around, and I'm going to get Devin. Devin's standing right here with the motherfucking belt before his fan base. Do the fan base turn on him? Nope. They say the same shit he say. Yeah, he's just better than Devin. Devin is paid. He got an email championship. Yeah, well, you know what? It's a motherfucking championship. And guess who ain't got one? That motherfucker y'all say is supposed to be the best. And then when soon he get an opportunity to have to fight some damn body, oh, so no, I'm crazy. A week later, he signed a piece of paper and then motherfucker went crazy within 4 days. And ain't nobody seen him since. Then he turned up in Hawaii with some bikini bra. And then disappeared again. What the hell is taking so long, man? Your ass had a fight you had signed, and then they waited for the guy to get another fight before he come back and say, okay, well, I'm back now, I'm okay. The shortest mental health issue I've ever seen in the history of life. When you have mental health issues, that lasts with you for some time. You just don't heal a couple days, a couple weeks. It's going to take you some years to deal with that. And it might not heal all the way, but you might just be able to cope with it through life. You see, that's the difference. But these guys are allowed to say shit, do shit, and nobody hold them. Their fan base don't hold them accountable for nothing. They can continue to do this. Come out here, yeah, I'm a Gervonta Davis, knock him out 2 rounds. Gervonta said, look here, I'll tell you what, partner, I'm gonna let you be the A side. I'm gonna let you be the A side. Did the fight happen? Hell no. And he was giving him the bigger end of the purse deal, but he didn't want to do that. Oh, I'm fighting Manny Pacquiao. I'm off to bigger and better thing because I'm better than all these black fighters. They don't have the right to fight me because I'm so damn great. This is what they kick out there. And then they want to tell you, because with a lot of these guys, these MXB, whatever the hell they call themselves, very racial, and they run along racial lines. And they'll tell you, Mexican fighters, we running boxing. This is the shit that they promote. So this is the shit that we running into. So when stuff like that come up, then we gotta, hey, well, hold up, I hit you with some facts on this shit. You know, I mean, y'all got some good fighters, that's fine. Nobody disputing that. But to say the best and all this shit, they ain't proved none of that shit yet. You know, they get the popularity because you got networks that's backing them, you got sanctioning bodies that let them do whatever the hell they want. Oh, you pop dirty, don't worry, it's legal now. You know, then you got the announcers on there. Oh, look, he's coming forward. Look, oh. I mean, come on. You got a whole fucking system that's boosting you before you get in the ring. So the fucking opinion of the fight before you get in there with him, this motherfucker 4 rounds ahead of you before you got in there. It's crazy. And if you move a little bit and you stick him and move a little bit, oh, he's running. It's like they put you in a trick bag the whole time the fight going on, man. It's unreal. It's crazy.
TS Boxing. I sent my email me so I can see the link.
Tyrone. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the stuff I've been tired about with boxing, man, because that shit happened too much. And I'm tired of watching it go unchecked, and they don't never talk about it on any level, man. But that's what's fucking the sport up, man. It really is. If you kept it honest and even, man, across the board, man, we all got great fighters, you know. But let these guys get their proper rank, man. We don't need all this old shit where we're gonna make a star and everybody gonna force everybody to like that one guy, you know. I mean, that's not how it goes. You know, that seems to be the trend moving forward. But the way it used to be is they had to earn that spot. It wasn't given to them. They had to earn it. Whenever they came up and there was a challenger that came up that was interesting, that the public and the boxing heads knew or thought that, hey, this guy can give him a chance. This would be a great fight. It built. This fight gonna happen. Just a matter of time now. That was one thing that was in their back pocket. They know if they kept going out there grinding, that fight, they was moving towards that fight. Nowadays, you can't say that. Look how long, I mean, man, that's the frustrating thing to me, you know, is how they keep us waiting on these fights and everything. And this year was supposed to be different. This year was supposed to had a lot of big fights that didn't really jump off the way it should have. And COVID and all this type of stuff, you know, it really disturbed some things, man. And then, you know, I don't know about the Jamel Charlo, man. I'm still upset about that one. He had a golden opportunity many black fighters don't get, man. And you went out there and fucked it up to me. And I mean, Derek James told him off the jump, man, you got to knock this motherfucker out, man. Stop playing games with this motherfucker. He hurt every time he hit him, he hurt him. There's no reason that Brian Castano should have been still standing at the end of that goddamn fight. You know, he's so worried about his little fucking jabs. He told me, man, go on and hit that motherfucker with an uppercut. Hello, a fucking uppercut. Yeah, have you heard of one? There was none. Whole fucking fight. He walking in. Not one motherfucking uppercut hit this motherfucker. If you bust him with that uppercut one time, he gonna be hesitant to step forward. That's the one shot that was missed through his whole fucking repertoire. I can't even watch the fight. It pissed me off so much. I ain't even gonna lie.
Salute to the brother PGH Big Dog in the building. And salute to TS Boxing just joined us. What's good, brother?
Yeah, what's going on, man? What's going on, everybody on the panel? Hope you guys are all right. Basement, man. Thanks for the link. Before I go on, this pic I got here, it's really hard to see. You guys zoom in on it, right? It's Javon Hill, and then he's training Ali's grandson, who's trash. I mean, he's garbage.
Oh my god.
No blank period. But that's not what's funny about the picture, right? I mean, we use Vaseline, right, to put on cuts.
Yeah.
Look what Javon puts on. You got kind of zoom into it. That's cocoa butter. Look at it. Look at it. You guys zoom. I got the full picture. I could probably send it to you so you can see it bigger. But if you zoom in on it, you can see it, right? You see it, Basement?
Yeah.
That's cocoa butter. That's Palmer's. Everybody got that.
Wow.
You see it?
Wow.
Because he wants them to smell sweet. That's his.
I'm back with y'all, good brothers, man.
That's his deal. That's what he's about.
Oh my god, man!
That's see it?
Crazy.
Man, sorry for my delay, man. Had to go send these kids off, man. So I went on mute. I heard y'all cooking though.
Oh yeah, jump in.
What's good, TS? That's good.
What's going on, G5? How you doing?
Cool. Good, man. Good.
I said,
Now I
you
can
see
smoke my
my
blunt.
profile pic? You see my profile
Oh
pic? I
yeah.
was just telling the brothers, I was like, this is Sugar Hill using cocoa butter to put on Ali's grandson instead of Vaseline.
God damn.
I got the full picture. I'm probably I might make a video on it. I don't. Who knows?
Man,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
crazy.
Mike was telling me for a long time he thought that he was. I mean, we all think that he's, he swings the other way, but I mean, it's better if he just comes out about it, and just so that we can all be on the same page, so
Yeah,
we know what we're dealing with.
exactly.
I mean, how do you have another man? I mean, he was matching Fury. Like, he would wear whatever Fury wore, just a miniature version. Like, I mean, the whole open shirts and stuff like that. I thought it was weird.
Yeah,
You never see him. I mean, he doesn't have I don't see a wife or girlfriend around him. I don't know if he has kids. I mean, we would have known that by now. If he did, he doesn't. So, I mean,
it's kind of hard not to have no woman if you ain't got no, if you got money. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
right,
man,
right,
this shit is
exactly.
weird. Twins don't even dress like each other no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You a whole grown man dressing like another grown man. Oh, you wear Versace with 5 buttons open? Me too. Head ass, get your ass out of here. Nah, can't do that. Then he be looking sweet and suspect and certain shit. The way he be looking and answering, I'm like, I don't know about Sugar Hill, dog. Like as a man, I can't be nicknamed Sugar Hill, bro. I know Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill sounds sweet.
I mean, this picture for me says it all. Once I saw I had to look at it again because I thought it was just Vaseline because it was actually on the Top Prank, their trailer for Ali's grandson, and he's over there like working cuts on it, just getting him right to work.
Check this out though, guys. I mean, think about it. Nobody even heard about him too much till he got with Tyson Fury, and he gets credit for being this great trainer. Because of this one fight. Really, it's really just kind of came up. Oh, they go Sugar Hill. That's Magnus nephew.
It's all about like opportunity, man. He had his most blessed night with Fury. Now, granted, I thought he did pretty good work with Stevenson, but I hate how he did Stevenson because, I mean, going into Stevenson's last fight, I mean, I heard about problems between him and the strength and the conditioning coach that they had working, and there were issues since the Jack fight Stevenson had, but like you go on his Instagram, he deleted every single photo he had with Stevenson. Fury is not his star. Fury won't be there pretty soon after this fight. It's Stevenson who did the most work. It's Stevenson, and the fact that he just kind of like took the pictures off and didn't explain what the issues was. Like, he never even said get well or anything to him. After that, I just thought it was weird.
Well, I mean, I don't trust a man named Sugar Hill. I don't. Never have, never will. The shit just don't sound right to me.
Yep.
Then look at your picture. He gripping his head like he doing his lashes or some shit. Like, come here, you know how your mama see a piece of crust on you, she be like, here, let me get that out for you. Lift her finger and get this. Look like what he doing. He gripping his head and shit. Like, nah, dog. Not no grown man, dog. Not happy. It's like you in the barber chair and that nigga gripping your head with some passion while he lining you up or something. Hell no. Can't do it.
Nope.
But I mean, that just goes off the namesake. You know what I'm saying? People really be winning and eating off their name. Your uncle was a dope ass trainer, but you? Nah, not so much. But the name alone kept him going. Shit. He rode his uncle wave. That's all he did.
That's crazy, man. She didn't stand a chance.
As I look at it, rolled away till he got old. Now he like, all right, now I can be myself now.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I'm saying? Like I done got paid. I'm about to get paid again if this nigga get in the ring, and you know I'm gonna make another bag. You know, so he ain't tripping. He ain't gonna say nothing. He ain't gonna trip about Fury. Why? Because that money going to his pockets and be able to feed his family. He don't give a shit.
No.
Why they ain't paying him or giving him no money? So he like, shit, hey, if we win, shit, I get paid. If we lose, I get paid. If we win, I get more. So shit, why not? Unfortunately.
Let me get you guys' opinion real quick on another big fight that's coming up that I see. We got Brandon Figueroa versus Cool Boy Steph Fulton.
Yeah, that's a big fight.
September the 18th.
Yeah, bro. Like it.
It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah,
I got Cool Boy.
yes, sir.
I think Steph will be too smart for him because he fought somebody like that before. Who was it? Angelo Leo. He fought just like that, and he just took him. It wasn't even that he took him he beat him at his own game. Like he was fighting him on the inside the whole night. He fought him on the inside.
Yeah, buddy, and everybody before the fight. Oh, Stephen Fortin, he's scared to get in banging in a phone booth fight.
No.
That's all they said before that fight. And then he got in there and banged and slapped him with a cell phone in that bitch.
I think he's the best one at 122, right? He's the best fighter there.
Oh yeah.
Is it 122?
Or 120? Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably the best fighter there. He probably needs to move up after he cleans it up.
Yeah,
I agree.
Go after Gary Russell. He ain't moving up.
I was just about to say that too. Like, hey, Gary Russell,
he gonna hold on to that belt.
Hey, that'll be the type of the BMV right there. What they call it?
BMV and Philly.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Yeah. Hey, but what happened with Gary Russell in that fight? The guy that was supposed to move up last to fight him.
I don't know. L-Dub was talking about it. He's not sure what's going on.
I see his brother fighting on the undercard of
right.
Cool Boy Steph fight.
See, that's what throws me off. Like your little brother, both your little brothers, they'll get fights and get on cards and stay inactive. You the older brother, supposed to be the older pupil, helping them not to go down your mistakes, which you probably told them. But at the same time, you not even doing it your damn self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you gotta make that shit make sense to me and probably y'all too. Your little brothers just got in the sport and they way more active than your ass.
Way more.
I mean, like, is it the money?
What? This gonna be.
You think it's the money that they throwing at Gary Russell Jr.? And
no, he could. I doubt if he making more than his big brother.
It's not a money thing. A lot of what happened with Gary Russell was, if you remember, he was fighting once a year on HBO against kind of really nobodies. And then what happened was that when HBO told Al Heyman to kick rocks and they went to Showtime, Gary Russell really didn't have a place to go. So after he fought Lomachenko and lost that bout, he didn't really have anything after that because there was nobody that was there to say, look, we believe in you. Because unfortunately, he didn't build a brand that was worth the amount of money that he was getting. So now he's in a place where it's like, you're a champion, you're a good fighter, but you're not worth the money that you want now.
Yeah, I thought.
But see, my thing about that is, man, and you're right about that. That was the way that was perceived and took off. But I felt that was unjustified because in that Lomachenko fight, he did drop Lomachenko, never got credit for it in the fight.
Yeah, he dropped.
So he should have at least got a rematch, but he can't even get a rematch on that. Then the other thing is, look at the movement in boxing. You know, now when you have fighters like that fight that style, that's real quick hands and movement and stuff like that, you know, they find a way to discredit the guy. You know, not make him look like he's special at all. You know, devalue him. He's running. He's not this. He won't do that. You know, because now everybody has to be rock'em sock'em robots. Stand there, less skilled fighters. It's just all about, you know, just I'm gonna hit you, you hit me. I mean, it's hard not, for you not to get hit because you're in harm's way, and it's hard not to hit that guy because that guy's in harm's way. And that is not the preface of boxing. The preface of boxing is to hit and not get hit. You see, that's where the skill come in. But now it's a movement away from that type of thing. That about a lot of people in different levels, in sanctioning bodies and the commentators, judges. I mean, they got it all the way through. They feeling like this is the way they want everybody to fight now. So if you get out there and you crafting, and you moving, and you slipping punches, and you catching the guy, and the guy can't get you, and he's coming after you, but he just can't get you, and he's frustrated, everybody has sympathy for that guy because he's less skilled, and it's obvious. But that is the very presence of boxing, is to be able to do a guy like that and frustrate the hell out of him to the point where he just like, oh, he's running. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think with Gary Russell is like he's champion, so like he'll only fight if it's a mandatory or if it's a top tier guy or the money is good. I mean, he fought. I mean, the last guys he was fighting since he won the title. I mean, his last opponent was good.
Doug, right?
Yeah, he was good. Joseph Diaz, the fight. I know he fought on the Wilder Brazil undercard. He fought Martinez, who was sort of past it, but I mean he basically had to get that one in there. Diaz was a mandatory. Escandon was a voluntary, but he was high up in the rankings. Highland was, I think he was the first. Yeah, it was the first defense, and Johnny Gonzalez, he knocked him out in like 4 rounds for the title. And Johnny Gonzalez just knocked out what's his name a couple fights before that, Abner Mares, to win it. So it's trying to get him the top fights. My biggest thing with this situation is, and he was right. I do think Al Heyman should have blocked that Leo Santa Cruz Tank fight. That should have never been made. It should have been Santa Cruz and Russell. There's no reason for it to be Davis got other things to do other than having somebody come up chase money.
Yeah. And
Russell deserved
what he said about
Heyman looking at activity though. Heyman looking at the activity of the fighter. I get that you want to fight the top or whatever, but if you can't, we still got to make money, and you still need fights. You know what I'm saying?
I think I would rather sit I'd rather sit on my ass and fight nobody than to fight a bum. Fighting bums don't do nothing for me. Don't do zero.
Yeah, but if I get paid off a fight, I get paid after I fight most of the time. That's how the usually goes. Once the tickets are calculated,
4 million on paper. You got 1.4.
Yeah, well, and that's cool, but your job is to feed your family. So you can sit and do nothing or fight a C- fighter. I'd rather fight a C- fighter because I'm gonna get paid.
But he don't need money.
Well, here's the thing I gotta also remember with Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell, and that Gary Russell violated something that you don't ever do with boxing, and he brought Leo Santa Cruz family into it. And from what a guy here in Houston told me, that some powerful people from Mexico told him, to sit his ass down because you went too far. I don't condone trash talking to somebody's family about somebody's family. And even though Russell did apologize for what he said about Santa Cruz's dad, that's one reason why Santa Cruz isn't going to fight Russell, because it's so uncalled for to insult somebody's family like that, And Gary Russell has to realize that he might be a really good boxer, but he's really kind of a non-powerful person when it comes to the string of things.
I mean, even in PBC,
if you don't have somebody with power backing you, and he doesn't.
Even in PBC, he's on the out and out.
The PBC for a little bit. I'm sorry.
Even
I had a bad connection.
Oh, okay. Even with the Heyman fighters, he's on the out and out. I mean, he's spoken out against Al Heyman. Al Heyman not giving him the fights he needs. There's no reason for him. He should have got the Santa Cruz fight. I mean, in 2017 or something like that, a while back. He touched Santa Cruz dad in like 2019 or 20. You know what I mean? it's like
Yeah, and
this
look
be
how everybody
also,
looked at that. People try to say
but
like
look at this
he was
though.
trying to hurt the man or something like that. He was just sending a message, but the perception went against him. Like, oh, he's
he was
dirty. He
begging
shouldn't
for
do
that
that.
fight.
He's classy.
Well,
You
He
get
was begging for that fight. Santa Cruz and
well, here's the
Frampton fought
thing.
twice on Showtime. Fought twice.
But here's the thing though. Al Heyman can't. Al Heyman doesn't force his guys to fight. So it's
Nope.
like, look, if you want to fight, I don't want to fight. It is what it is. I'm not gonna. Al can't force us to fight. He can say, look, his opportunity is there for the fight. But I think Santa Cruz and other people kind of realize that fighting Russell gives me nothing because one, if I'm gonna make even $1 more fighting anybody else, I'm gonna go for the money. Any fighter
yeah,
who
but
doesn't
see,
go for the money
Yeah, him and
is,
him and
that's because of the
outside of
risk, though.
stupid.
That's
I mean
because
him
of the risk.
him and Tank Davis was a money grab. I mean for Tank that's a know nothing fight. There's no reason to fight him for somebody to come up. Why is that dude coming up when he still has business at 126? It doesn't nah
Well,
not
but
interested.
it might be money. I mean, if you say right now you can make $500,000 at 126 or $1 million at 130, and you're saying, look, I want to secure my bag, you're going to make sure you make your money. The one thing every boxer, I tell any boxer, is you get punched in the head, at least make a paycheck that's worth getting punched in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. I tell any fighter, swallow your pride. Don't worry about your glory or legacy because ain't none of that gonna pay a bill when you're old. People can say, "Oh, I remember how good so and so was. I remember how good Muhammad Ali was." Acknowledge anything to Muhammad Ali from nothing care anything. And he didn't need it. But I don't anybody get your money.
Yeah, and also, I mean, look how the loss was. The Tank was perceived. He still came out with still some respect. But if he had went out there and got knocked out by Gary Russell, it wouldn't have been the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the risk reward thing was there when it came to Gary. But if you went out there and got knocked out by Tank, and then you go out there and give a valiant effort, which he did, man. He was able to come out with his head held high. But if it had been Gary that trashed him, they'd have been like, oh man,
Hey, we also got to look at which name out of Gary Russell and Tank Davis is gonna give Leo more attention and more clout and put him more in the face of boxers or boxing fans. Tank is a more popping fighter than Gary Russell.
Yeah.
Gary Russell talented as hell.
Yeah.
But if you're not active enough and people can't see you and whatever rift they happen with the PBC, if they was mad because he's not fighting enough, whatever, I don't know. It's all speculation. I have no idea. But if you're not out there actually trying to get these fights, nobody is gonna push you like that because you're not really you sitting on your ass. I get the best fight, the best. I'm all for it. But shit, Canelo fight Burns until he fight or get the fight he want. Other people do the same shit. Get they bag. You gotta stay active. What have you done for me lately, sport? This is boxing. And look, they don't these days who it is, they a lot of times they'll give a damn if you fighting a bum now. Shit, as long as you in the ring fighting, shit, that's what they looking at. Now some the media that wanna push it and twist it, yeah, they might say something, but shit, who gives a shit? Get your money and keep your name and keep people eyes on you. That way you can continue to go. That's called marketing. You market yourself.
Yeah. And that's
I'm a business major. It's marketing. Tank markets itself. You know what I'm saying? His promoter, his team, they might do shady shit, but hey, they put him in position to do or keep his name buzzing. Until the internet fiasco, nobody was even talking about Gary Russell. And the hardcore, diehard fans know who he is. Until the Bud shit happened and the Leo shit happened, nobody was talking about Gary Russell, y'all. Let's just be honest. Nobody.
No, I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. Like it's true. The marketing and fighting bums. Me, I wouldn't do that. And this is why the sport's dying. That's why I turned the TV off. I clicked the red X. I'm not really on boxing like that too much. I just know of what's going on because even like they were trying to get it with guys we like. I mean, like Deontay, like you have Deontay fight something like Charles Martin.
Joseph
The Black
Parker
Star,
shit.
I didn't want to see that. I said no. If he's not fighting the top, for me, like if I'm already at the top and I'm not fighting any top guys, I'm just picking up scraps for money just to show my ass. Then I can do that at home. Like, it's not, I'd just give it all up. I get to a point where I don't even care about money anymore.
See, that's TS wants to be the best. See, and that's honorable, man. And that's what they should be. That should be their motivation. But
I just want
they made
it just turn the other way.
Hey, I feel that too. I have that same ideology, that same rhetoric. But the way boxing is ran in today's world, you better keep yourself active and keep fighting, or else you will be forgotten.
It doesn't trick us because we know what's going on. It tricks the casuals. Yeah. I mean, they go on there. I mean, what was it? Ryan Garcia. I mean, he fights tons of bums. He fought a guy and caught him behind the ear or something. The guy fell over like he just collapsed, like he got hit by a sniper or something. He just collapsed, and all the casuals. And then you see it on Instagram, and you see 1.3 million views. I'm like, both those fighters are shit, and everybody knows that who knows boxing. But your casual friend will tell you. He said, "Look, did you see this knockout? Do you know who this is? He's the next big star." Da 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 da. And they were doing this for a long time. They did it with Mike Tyson. I mean, it's just, it drains your energy.
Now it seems it's more casual that has their eyes on it because a lot of diehard fans, they don't want to speak up. So it's needed for people like us to get on channels and streams and talk the real shit. Some diehard fans don't even want to speak on shit. So it's more casuals outnumbering us with all this bullshit rhetoric and pushing the agenda of these networks. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? We outnumber the real hardcore fans. We outnumber. We outnumber, y'all.
I mean, what would you say we are? Like probably maybe 5%, if that. Maybe less than that. I mean, all the hardcores. I mean,
we're way more than that. We're probably, believe it or not, the hardcore fans are probably 60 to 70% of boxing when it comes to support. The problem isn't if the hardcore fans are there. The problem is that at some point there's payoff that we want. We don't mind watching a couple of guys fight up and coming contenders if that means this time next year we're going to get the next fight that we want. But we're not getting that. And that's the problem. If you say right now you watch Ryan Garcia fight the guy he fought, Liam Campbell, I think the guy's name was, I might be getting it wrong. He might fight another guy.
Talking about Lou Campbell, Sue Blue.
Yeah.
Then he said, okay, well, you know what? He's going to have another fight. Okay, when are you going to get your title shot? Because if I'm paying $20 a month for the zone, at some point I want to see the fight that I want to see. And the problem is boxing is not giving us that, because I think someone said it earlier, if I'm going to make money regardless, I'm going to take the easier fight, which is fine to take an easy fight. But easy fight shouldn't be the norm. At some point, it should be, hey, easy fight, mega pay-per-view fight, easy fight, mega pay-per-view fight. Because fans do not real boxing fans do not mind spending the money, but we're not going to spend the money for something that we know doesn't have that value or that quality. And we shouldn't.
Yeah, we're not going to pay for shit, water. We're not.
I mean, they had Ryan Garcia talk. I didn't see him talk about it, but I heard about somebody saying that he saw him talk about he makes way more money in endorsements and shaking his ass on Instagram and looking cute or filter. I mean, we can all put on a filter and look cute. Not a big deal. But he does it and he gets paid for it. But he makes more money doing that than actually fighting. And fights like his last fight, we all know. I mean, everybody's seen Luke Campbell at least twice. I mean, I saw him fight. I saw him early versus somebody, Ivan Mendy, a guy from France. But I saw him in when he first came here and fought Linares and lost. I was like, this guy has a horrible mental issue. I knew he was going to come to lay down. I mean, you saw how he dropped him and he just backed away. I mean, it was so predictable. I mean, it just you just want to turn the TV off. But the casuals, I mean, they're on that so quick. It doesn't even. They're pushing all the hardcores out. Like we're probably gonna go extinct pretty soon.
You know what's funny is that Luke Campbell's not all that good or whatever, but he dropped Loma and Ryan Ass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here like,
tired.
I'm like, y'all did all this shit talking about Luke Campbell, and man, he put both of y'all on y'all ass. Ryan, you ain't fought again because you got your ass popped, and you still ain't recovered from that shit from Luke Campbell.
Yeah, he felt like, I mean, he was hurt badly. Like, I mean, he wasn't even on his ass. Like, he fell out on his side, and his arm was like dangling, and his head bounced on the case. So he was really hurt from that. But I knew when he dropped him, I was like, he's not even going to go for it because he was paid to lose. He's a professional loser. These guys you bring in and you tell them what the deal is, and they just do it. And they're not actually here to win fights, especially him who. He's never really tried to win a fight, like a big fight, ever. He's never really actually put on everything, because if he did, he probably would have won at least one. He would have definitely beat. If you look at it on paper, Luke Campbell should beat Ryan Garcia on paper. You just look at the box record. But the circumstances of boxing, we just get shit like that.
Yeah, then some of them getting catered to, even if it you go to the cards. You know what I'm saying? If they got a fancy bone for Ryan Garcia and his whole camp, then you already know who they're gonna give a decision to. You know what I'm saying? So it's just these judges as well. I mean, it gotta be some type of screening for this shit, because it's getting out of hand. Just outrageous landslide cards and decisions and the scores that they doing. It's just like, man, they will try to put the fuck to you. So it's like, it makes people like, if I don't get the knockout, I'm dead in the water. And that's sad. That's a sad sight in the sport of boxing. If a person don't get the knockout, then they lose. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
I think. But see, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. The sweet science of boxing is going lacking, because people push it. Oh, you got to get the knockout. Oh, if you box well, you suck. You're scared. Okay. All right. We'll see. Once you retire, we'll see how that works out for you.
But see, I blame that on the change in the American culture. If you look at it, I mean, we've gotten to a point where we as Americans criticize someone for losing or someone for making a decision that we don't agree with. I mean, if a fighter loses now, you will see them get ripped apart online because by losing, that must mean you suck. And it's like, well, look, if one thing I will give Mexico and Europe is they can have one of their fighters lose and they still love them and support them. In America, if a fighter loses, he's damn near dead. It's like, oh my God, you lost, you suck. I'm not going to watch you fight anymore because you're a bum. It's like this thing where you're in a sport where you can lose, but we cannot accept you losing. Look at basketball.
Get exiled out for one loss.
Well, look at basketball. I've been watching basketball all my life, and I have yet to see anybody say LeBron James deserved his championship ring. They criticize LeBron for decisions he makes, kill him for when he loses, but not one person said, you know what, he deserved at least one ring, and he got 4. It's this thing where if you lose once, you're automatically not as good as we thought you were. Like, if you ask anybody right now, the argument for the reason why LeBron James is not better than Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan never lost in the finals. And that's it. And that's a problem that it's something we have to kind of address, because we want guys to make the effort, but then if they lose, we turn our backs on them. And that's a big problem in American boxing. And it's one of the reasons why guys are like, look, keep my undefeated record, because the second I lose, fans will just forget about me. Yeah. Like Keith Thurman, like, you think about it, Keith Thurman lost to Manny Pacquiao. First thing people said, well, Keith Thurman was not in his prime.
He a bum.
One loss.
He a bum.
Yeah, he loses to Manny Pacquiao in a close fight. And you know what? Yeah, he's a bum. Anthony Joshua loses to Andy Ruiz by knockout, and Andy Ruiz is actually a good boxer. Well, Joshua, see, he's a bum. But Jermell Charlo loses that fight to what's his name a couple of years ago. See, these PBC boys ain't that good. It's something that we as hardcore fans can say, look, fighters will lose about. It's okay. Just because you lose does not mean that you now have to go out to pasture. And that's the only thing that really kills me about a lot of these casuals is that they'll run and look at your record. And if your record says you might be good, then damn it, you must be the best thing out there. But if you have one or two losses, man, how can I expect you to win when you're a bum? A good example, and I'll go back on you, is Miguel Cotto lost to Margarito, and he could have lost because of wrapped gloves. I don't know. He loses to Manny Pacquiao, and the first thing people said when he fought Floyd Mayweather is, "Man, Cotto's washed up. He's a bum. He got 2 losses." But then Cotto goes and wins a few fights, and not that Cotto still has something in the tank. It's the guys he beat were bigger bums than Cotto, and it's just one of the dumbest excuses that these casuals are making in boxing.
Right. My thing is exactly that. It's not even the fact they lose. It's the fact that the casuals will close their eyes to the way they lose. I mean, Keith Thurman lost in a close fight. I thought Keith Thurman won the fight versus Pacquiao. It was a close fight, and all the casuals were like, "Oh, he got his ass beat." No, he didn't. He didn't get shit rocked. Please stop. Yeah, he got touched. He got hurt to the body, but it's still a close fight. I mean, look at the punch stats. And they say the same thing with Deontay. Deontay could not even move the moment the bell rang. He was dragging his feet the entire time. He couldn't do shit. And the casual, oh man, he got destroyed. And listen, anybody would have beat Deontay that night. Put your grandma in there. I mean, you can't. Literally, he was in there. He could not move his arms. He couldn't move his legs. He couldn't do anything from the moment he took off the costume. He was sweating all sorts of stuff. He couldn't do anything, and it still took Tyson Fury 7. He couldn't even stop, and they had to throw in the towel to do it because he can't punch. How about you do a fair fight? How about you do a fair fight between those two guys, and we'll see what happens. Both had 100%, and let's see what happens.
We know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
We know what's gonna happen.
If he comes in there, Tyson Fury knows he should. If Fury wants to win this fight, he needs to go back to boxing like he did in the first fight. If he wants to come forward with stuff and actually believe what everybody's saying, he's gonna be put out. Like it's just it doesn't make sense. And the thing is, they'll put other guys above somebody else like they're a god. Like all of a sudden, Tyson Fury, people look at him as if he's a god and nobody can beat him and stuff. I mean, I saw a casual fan say that, oh, my prediction is if he fights Anthony Joshua, he's going to beat him up and then knock him out with an uppercut in the 10th round. I said, come on. What are we doing here? He can't even beat some of the guys at mid-tier. I was saying Fury was no good before the first Wilder fight, and even if Wilder beats him, he's not all that anyway. It's just that people put him on such a pedestal, and they put a certain guy above all these guys when all these guys can beat each other depending on the night. Wilder couldn't even move that second fight at all. You can't tell me that was a human being in there. That was a normal Deontay Wilder who couldn't even punch. He had nothing on his punches. He had nothing on his right leg.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's a masterclass from Fury. He beat a guy who couldn't move. And and if you look at the punch stats, the crazy thing about this too, if you look at the punch stats, he was almost as inaccurate in the second fight as if he was in the first fight. So he got worse. He actually got worse. His connect percentage was only a bit higher in the second fight than it was in the first fight. And in the second fight, Deontay was stuck in mud. He couldn't move. How can you not be able to hit somebody standing still? You've got to be trash. You've got to be trash.
Well, but my only thing with that, though.
Hey, let me say this: if his best chance to be Wilder,
it's the box, is the move. Yeah,
that or no, try to fight him, hurry up and fight him now. The more time you let him get comfortable with adding more wrinkles to his game, it's gonna get worse for him. because he's gonna get more repetition, more muscle memory doing what he's doing now. That is not what you do to one of the most lethal punches. He adding to his arsenal to fuck Fury up. Oh, you want to get in tight? You want to try to push with your forearm? I got something for that. You know what I'm saying? So your best thing is don't give him more time to keep doing and getting more acclimated with what he's doing. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
I don't know about what's going to happen with the third fight because it's been almost 2 years since the second fight. But my thing is this: I don't think Wilder beats Fury because the first fight, Wilder hit Fury with two of the hardest punches I've ever seen him hit a guy with, and Fury got back up off of both of them. And I think in the second fight, for whatever reason, whether it was whatever Fury says, whatever Wilder says it was, or whatever, I think Wilder might not have been in his game. But I think the thing that's different with Wilder, that's different with Fury and Joshua, is Wilder to me that kind of boxer that if he hits you with his best shot and you don't go down, he doesn't know what to do afterwards. And a lot of guys in boxing can say, look, I'm one of the hardest punchers, but if I hit you with two of my hardest punches and you get back up, I got to think, now what do I do? And I think Wilder's is in a deficit fighting Fury again because Wilder's 36. He hasn't fought in a year and a half, a little bit more than that. He has a new trainer, new style, which he hasn't had a chance to actually get in the ring and test it out against a fighter. And I don't know if he beats Fury this time. You know, at this point, I don't care. I just want to see somebody else fight the title. So, because it's been forever and a day now. But I think the biggest thing is Wilder has to show me that he has the confidence to go in there and to box, not try to hit him with that one good shot. He does that, win or lose, he'll have more of my respect.
I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, if you want to predict the fight based off of the first fight, that's cool. Like, I'm with that because those are both guys who look, they weren't hampered by anything really. I mean, that the style matched up looked to be something like that. That's fine. But the second fight, obviously, somebody was just not right, and somebody took advantage of that. So I don't believe, and I always tell people this: you name me a fight, right, where the result in the first fight was close, and the rematch within a year or whatever it was about a year, right, was so drastic, and there was nothing wrong with either of the fighters.
I would say that Holyfield Lewis. No, I think Holyfield Lewis was different. I think Tyson
was it drastic,
Holyfield. Though? Say it again.
Was it drastic? Was it one-sided?
Yeah, the second fight, the first fight, Holyfield did not win that fight. The draw wasn't legit, in my opinion. But Holyfield was a much better boxer. In the rematch, Holyfield just got outboxed for like 9 of those rounds. Same thing, I think, with the Mike Tyson Holyfield fight. Granted, the second one ended because Mike Tyson bit the ear. But from what did happen with it, it was a different fight. Rematches very rarely go the same way twice. You look at the trilogy with Gotti and Ward. The first fight was a classic. The second fight, people don't talk about because it was a very boring, different fight. Gotti won that fight easily. I think if you ever look at it, or look at the Paul Williams, Sergio Martinez.
I mean, that was a knock. I mean, he got caught though. It was probably gonna go the same way the first time if he didn't get caught.
Yeah, but the result is drastically different from the first fight. If you want a really good example, Jermaine Taylor, Kelly Pavlik, when they fought, that first fight was a really good fight. Pavlik knocked him out, but it was a competitive fight. That rematch, Taylor looked like he had aged 5 or 6 years, in my opinion, and he was because of brain
drugs and he had issue with brain injuries. But one to prove my point is something more recent: the whole Joshua Franco, Andrew Maloney. Those 3 fights all the same were pretty much all the same. Yeah, the second fight they were boxing or whatever, and he had the cut from the headbutt. But I mean, those 3 fights basically were very, you know, very very similar. So like it's, I don't know. I don't believe in somebody changing their style. What did Tyson Fury do? This whole come forward stuff. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that whatsoever. I think that's a scam. Even his dad said it was a scam. He said that's not him. He should go back to his uncle. His uncle is the only decent one that I like, who's pretty honest. And they've had issues, but yeah, his uncle don't think he's gonna really be on top either.
And see, I don't know. I don't see. It's hard for me to pick. I picked Fury because of Fury won the second fight, and he really did really well in the first fight. But being that these guys are going to fight in October, and it's been almost 2 years, it's like, man, how do I know how good anybody is? Being that almost 700 days has gone by, it is hard for me to think that for 650 days, you guys have maintained yourselves in a proper training, proper everything, and come October, whatever, you're gonna be ready to go. The only thing I want is get the fight over with, for the love of God, because I want to see somebody else in WBC contention. I'm so tired of. I'm literally tired of hearing Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder and this trilogy. I'm so tired of hearing it. It has been like, for the love of God, get it over with and let's move on.
Well, if Deontay came right the first time, we wouldn't have to worry about Fury any more either. And listen, it's for me. It's like, listen, if Ortiz had beat Deontay that night, I would be like, oh well, Ortiz deserved that. Wilder needs to go back to drawing board. But this second fight just left a bad taste in my mouth. With everything surrounding it, and regardless of how you feel about what people said or what's out on the internet, what you can't change is what you saw on that night in the ring. A decaf was next to me, one of my best friends. He was watching that fight with me, and he said, "Why does Deontay look like his eyes are bugging out of his head? Why is he sweating? This is a casual who doesn't know. He doesn't know how to spell boxing. He's never seen a glove. He doesn't nothing. I mean, a complete casual. He was a born decaf, a born again decaf, and was able to see this. So, like, for him, for us to have, like, literally, every time I'll just walk around angry. I'll never forget about that fight. I'm still pissed off about that fight. I'll never forget it. It's personal for me. It is personal. This is personal for me. And I just want him to take it out because I want to be vindicated to prove that nobody in this division is a god. Nobody is that much better than everybody else, and they're all human. For them to sit here and say that Fury's a god and he can do this and you can do this is lie. He's big. He's elusive. He's got skills. I mean, we can find big for nothing guys who are working at the grocery store, 6'8", 6'7", who are tall and can move too. Yeah. That's not that hard.
And it's okay for him to fight a style that they tell everybody else fights it. They say they're running, or they,
right. That's what I'm saying. This is all of these guys can beat each other.
Any given day,
and on any given day. So for people to say Fury is head and shoulders above the rest, I mean, that's a scam. That's a scam.
Yeah, because honestly, if you look at their first fight, I mean, people keep giving him credit and they love to repeat. Oh, he got up, but he did not fucking get up in no fucking 10 seconds.
No, it wasn't 10 seconds. That was a long.
That motherfucker did not. And then on top of that, the referee woke him up. I mean, the referee got on 2 knees, got his face in his grill. Whoa! The first thing you see him do is go, like, what the fuck? That's the first, and he even said it in an interview. He said, I heard the referee say 6. That's the first thing that he understood was 6. And the referee had to get on both knees and scream in his ear, and he heard 6.
He was in better shape for that first fight. I've been telling people that. People say, oh, man, he was in great shape for Wilder, too. How are you in great shape if you weigh in with a shirt?
And then you gain weight.
How are you in great shape if you weigh in with a shirt on?
Better shape gaining weight. When that ever happened?
Come on. How do you gain fat? They said it's muscle. No, it's not muscle. No, listen, we all lift weights. We know what muscle is. Muscle doesn't come in like fucking a couple of months. It's a long-term thing. If you're putting on weight, you're putting on water and fat. Everybody knows that. So you come in heavier, more gassed, and then it's like, oh, after this, notice the first 2 rounds he was kind of feeling out. Then after second round, he said, "Oh my god, he can't move. All right, I'm gonna go after him." That's exactly what happened.
He literally couldn't move, and then he kept which drove me crazy and drives me crazy to this day. And I had arguments on my platform with respectable people, and I said to them all, "You don't fucking take a step back. How in the fuck are you gonna make an impression on a fight in a big fight like this? And you." What the fuck is that?
Deontay threw a right hand, and you could probably go back. I can show it to you. Deontay threw a right hand, and he stumbled over his own feet. His own feet. You come in there all wrong, like.
I mean, it was just man.
But see, I think Deontay gassed himself with that suit and don't want to. I think when he first said the suit caused the issue, I think that was what it was, because then he said, "I put the suit on."
Brandon still say you see him saying how people still repeating that to this day. But
I'm gonna go back. But here's the thing: Deontay Wilder's an athlete. He knows his body. Yeah. He knows if he says, "Look, that suit made me feel different. I put it on. It was heavy. I had to walk slower because of the weight on it." I'm gonna think, look, your joints were probably compressed. You just spent all your time stretching, getting ready to put on a suit that doesn't give you any air, restricts the oxygen that you can get, to take it right back off and think you're going to be stretched out again. And I think his body said, you know what? No, something's going wrong. That's what I think happened to him. I think he said, look, that suit did something to me. I think it did. Because any fighter, especially who's saying, look, I've been fighting for years, they know when their body feels weird. And Deontay Wilder didn't look, from the opening bell, he did not look like he was comfortable. He looked like, okay, something is going on, but I don't know what.
Remember
that?
That's
what it was.
Remember Black Star? We were on a panel. I think it was last year. You were arguing with that guy about who gave the water, and then remember I asked him. I said, "How do you think Wilder looked in there?" He said he looked like he was in a rave, a drug rave. I'm like, man, if even a hater sees it, they all know. Like, I've seen hater channels who call, "Oh, Deontay's the Torquinator," or whatever. And then he's like, "Oh man, I'm just be honest with you. He didn't have his legs. I don't know what went on." So listen, if he wasn't right, why don't we run it back? If he wasn't right, why? What? I don't get this argument about a win is a win. We need to ball it up and throw it in the trash can. That is trash.
Well, here's the thing. And anybody will tell you in boxing, if you start accusing me of cheating, I don't want to rematch with you. And that's the one thing you don't want to do in boxing, and that's one thing that pisses me off. And if you notice, PBC doesn't talk like Deontay Wilder because of what he said about Mark Breland. Don't accuse somebody of cheating and you don't have anything.
Okay, Tyrone, he said Mark Breland, didn't he? Did he say Mark Breland?
He did. Go
ahead. He fired Mark Breland.
Okay.
And he said some stuff about Mark Breland. And it's like, wait a minute. Mark Breland is one of the most respected trainers, black trainers in boxing. And if you're going to make that kind of accusation, one thing Al Heyman doesn't like for his guys to do is to throw another guy under the bus or to talk bad about another fighter, or better yet, another trainer or somebody in his management. And why Wilder did it, I don't know. What Wilder believes, I don't know. But I believe Wilder went into that fight.
I can explain to you right now, bro. I really can. The fact that this guy that everybody's talking about is such a great stand-up guy took his ass all the way across the fucking ocean to do a podcast with some UK guys and talk all this shit about he didn't do this and I never touched the bottle. And then you can go to the damn fight and see him holding the water bottle, giving him the water in the damn fight. But he said he didn't ever touch the fucking bottle. So why the fuck you lying? Can somebody tell me why he lying? Why would you feel the need to tell the lie? Why not say, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with the bottle. I had the water, nothing wrong with it. And stand on your square. He didn't do that. He went over there and told them, oh, I never touched it. I never touched it. And you can look at the fight all day and see him pouring water like a motherfucker.
I'll just add something to about Breland's character. This is my thing about this.
That was crazy.
whatever Wilder said about dude. I mean, that's really between that. I'm not saying that's the best thing or not. I don't know. I don't know the story. I don't know the evidence. But I do know this though. Breland's not the angel you think he is. Did Wilder improve from the Olympics to now? Not really. First of all. Second of all, I know people in the camp. You guys know people in the camp. Everybody will tell you Coach Cuz holds pads. Fucking Malik Scott's in there working with him. This is even before Breland. This is while Breland's the head coach. And JD's does the tape and the behind the scenes stuff. By the way, Mark Breland also said this. This is what he said to somebody, a British reporter who came over for a Wilder Fury 1 fight. This is what he said. You tell me if this is somebody for their men or not. He said, "Oh, yeah, Deontay has skills." He said, "But they were like mine when I was 12." This is what he said about his own dude in 2018. Before Wilder Fury 1.
His crowning achievement.
That's what he said. That's what he said about his own fighter, the guy who pays for his checks.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Everything you said doesn't mean that Mark Breland, because you gotta also realize that show was co-promoted by PBC. So Sam Waterston, Mark Breland, all the PBC in Vegas, which is Floyd Mayweather's city for boxing, conspired to spike that water. Is what Deontay Wilder is saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
Hold on. Let me finish. So the thing is, I don't know Mark Breland as a trainer or how good he is. Most trainers are good, some aren't good. But when you make that accusation, you lessen everybody who is involved, because for that water to be spiked, Mark Breland, the whole corner, Sam Waterston, those two twins, everybody who was around him, who works with the Nevada State Athletic Commission,
not to drink water, and he was the opposition. How did he know?
I don't even know how he knew. How did he know that? Like, there proof that has
just named a bunch of people around the outside of this event. You named a bunch of people outside of an event. This guy knows. Somebody over here apparently didn't know, but this guy knew. Where it come from? No, I don't want that on camera.
Yeah. So that means that basically PBC set Wilder up to fail. That's what that means.
Man, ESPN had something to do with this as well. It was a co-promotion.
But remember,
PBC, a lot of people around the scene, bro. And even today, it only takes one person.
Okay, so but everybody who was in Wilder's, everybody who said, "Look, Wilder, we're looking out to make sure this is this and this is checked off," were his own people. It wasn't like somebody from top rank, like, "Here's your water." The Nevada State Commission, the lady Deborah with the WBC, Deborah Strom, I think, and Sam Waterston and his sons, and Floyd are all there. So all of them had to say, "Look, we want to make sure that Wilder loses by spiking this water." And I'm not saying that, it's impossible for it to happen, but I cannot see PBC, Floyd, Waterston, I can't see any of them saying, "You know what? Let's make sure this guy loses so this white British fighter who talks a lot of trash can win in America." I cannot see that being a conspiracy. And that's the reason why PBC, if you notice, PBC has said basically nothing when it comes to Wilder, because rightfully so, you just accused me of doing, you just put my character into question. So why would I work with you again in a rematch when you just threw me under the bus?
Oh, no. He was never going to listen. The moment he threw that shit in, like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. The thing is, Brandon, you got to think about, I mean, we know people in this camp. We talk to guys who know people. Like, he didn't do shit. Like, Mark Breland will come late to camp. Sometimes he wouldn't even come to camp until halfway through. The whole time. I mean, he relied on Coach Cuz and other guys to work. So why should we feel sorry about this guy? For me, it's not so much accusations. They should have got rid of Mark Breland really a while ago. They were telling Deontay got rid of Russ Amber, right?
Well, Tyrone, here's the thing, though, Tyrone. Can you guys hear me? I have a bad connection.
Yeah,
okay. Here's the thing, Tyrone. I'm a matchmaker, right? I match fights and I try to manage when I get fighters who want to be managed. The thing is I'm not saying that Mark Breland made Deontay Wilder, or Mark Breland is the reason Deontay Wilder is successful, and Deontay Wilder was just being disloyal. What I'm saying is that when you bring up the accusation about spiked water, you are accusing everybody of conspiring against you. And in boxing, which is already a dirty sport, boxing is already a horrible, dirty sport. When you put it in anybody's mind, this potential trainer and his team or these guys over here will spike their champion's water, you are making boxing and those people look bad. So they're not going to want to say, yeah, go do a rematch, because the problem with that is that whenever it's like, for example, like, you don't know me, but if you let me in your house one day and your watch comes up missing and Black Star Basement says, you know what, Brandon took your watch. There's no proof. And you think I took your watch. You're going to have a different relationship with me anytime I come to your house, because you say, well, look, you took my watch. I don't have any proof other than this guy said that. I don't have you on camera or anything. But the fact that I can believe you did it, it lowers my value of me as a guest in your home going forward. And that's something that Wilder, who always said he wanted loyalty from people, because Wilder always, like what Wilder said, I'm not going to go to the Zone, even for more money, because Showtime made me the millionaire. I am loyal to Showtime for this. He was loyal to Al Heyman and his manager. I can't remember his name, Shelly Finkel. You know, they kicked out Lou DiBella because Lou DiBella said, look, they don't want to talk to you. And just a simple meeting made them get rid of DiBella. So he values loyalty. But he can't go back and say, well, you know what? I'm not going to even give you benefit of the doubt because I have zero proof, because I felt bad or felt weird. My water had to be spiked, which means you didn't do your job, even though I don't have any proof of that. That's something you don't want to do in boxing, because boxing is already a hard sport where nobody trusts nobody trusts each other. And if you make an accusation in Vegas, which is, again, it's Floyd Mayweather State and City, and we're not talking about PBC being a small time, unprofessional, rookie type of organization, you're accusing a lot of people of something with no evidence. That's what I'm saying. That's why this rematch was something that you don't hear anybody bring up. Like, you've noticed on this whole rematch, since they went to court and everything, you have not heard PBC say much of anything. And that's because PBC is like, dude, you just basically accused us of trying to cheat you. Like, do you realize how hard that makes? How much I would be hurt knowing that I basically gave blood, sweat, and tears, and you can make
the thing about it is he's not naming who it is. He knows somebody did. He can't pinpoint. Sometimes you can. If you was in the ring and you start feeling funny about something and you start thinking about it after match, you have them thoughts and you start putting two and two together. Then when it comes to Mark Breland, he throws the towel in on the command of a fighter who trains in the gym with the guy that this dude is fighting. He said, "Throw the towel in." All of a sudden, now you have now I'm going to do it. All these things, you line them up, man. They're not consistent in loyalty. Something here is not right. Why you wait till this guy said?
Well, here's the thing.
Then this guy got a bet, and he won money off the fight on the round that he called the fight on.
But see, that's the thing. If the issue is someone, but Black Star, if the issue is that, okay, there's some corruption because this guy said throw the towel and he did, I would have no problem with that. I didn't have a problem with Wilder saying that he was upset that Breland threw the towel in. I got upset when it was like he made accusations that it's like, wait a minute, when you make an accusation, your first person is going to be whoever's in your corner. The second person is going to be whoever's in your dressing room. The third person is going to be the commission, the WBC, and the other side's people. So when you make an accusation, you got to realize, it's like right now, the four of us are sitting there talking. If I said somebody just called me something stupid, it's only the four of us here. So I'm automatically accusing the three of you. Now, maybe one of you called it, and maybe you weren't saying stupid to me, but you were saying stupid to somebody else. And I heard stupid and thought it was me. The point that I'm making is that when you make those accusations and those things, it makes a desire for a rematch less there. Because the whole thing was why the rematch, why they try to avoid the rematch. Because now it's like, well, dude, I gotta, I don't know if Wilder's whole training camp, everybody in his corner is different. I think everybody is different. Anybody know?
Do you know who put the rematch clause in the whole contract?
Wasn't it? It was Shelly Finkel.
No. It was Bob Arum and Tyson Fury. No, It was Bob Arum and Tyson Fury. They wanted to be guaranteed a third fight if they had lost the second fight.
Oh,
Kelly
I heard it was
Finkel and
Shelly
Wilder
Finkel
did
that
not
wanted
want
it.
the third fight, and it backfired on them.
Okay, I heard it was Shelly Finkel. Well, if it was
No, it
Bob Arum and
wasn't.
Tyson Fury, and I guess I don't have a problem with them having the third fight of the rematch. My only problem has been the almost 2 years of it. Like, I personally don't care about accusations. I don't really care about the conspiracy, but I do care about how long we are waiting for this third fight. Because again, you guys have to realize we're not talking like this happened this February and this October. We're talking before COVID pandemic, okay? And then it got delayed from July, and now it's going to be October. I only have so much damn to give before I no longer give a damn. And if this fight gets delayed again, believe me when I say I don't care anymore. Because by that time, my son will be 2 years old. My toddler will be 2 years old.
Man.
Okay. At that point, I'm like, look, if you guys haven't thought by the time he's 2, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. I only have so much that I can, like, same thing with Teofimo and Cambosis. I can only care for so long before I say, you know what? I don't care anymore. You do it when you do it. I might watch, because by then I might care.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. Because that then, you know, it done went on so long, man. It got to the point where, man, I didn't even want to talk about it no more. I said, man, look, the only answer is the trilogy. If the trilogy ain't gonna happen, this is just useless. And you know, I mean, it's been crazy on here, man. And we've been going back and forth for all this time over this stuff, man. And we can't get no answers and no resolution because we can't get these guys back in the ring. You know, I mean, it's crazy. But like you say, one more delay, I can understand that because it, you know, I've been waiting on Get Back for so long. I mean, I can just imagine how Wilder feel, and I can see him in there training. I know his mentality. I like that. I'm like, okay, I want to see him.
I just want him to win, and then turn over to Top Rank and the reporter. Fuck you guys. I'm not working with Top Rank ever again because my big thing was that was a Top Rank promotion basically more than it was a PBC. I mean, we had the Top Rank people showing their ass. We had Tim Bradley out there, and you had who else out there? Andre Ward and fucking all those dorks. Like, I don't want to listen to those guys. I don't want to hear those guys.
Check this out, Tyrone. I'll tell you one thing I want to see. I want to see him win. And I want to see him take a big shit on the WBC belt after he win the motherfucker and throw it in the trash can.
Just to be vindicated. I just want to be proven right. It's just about the right thing for me. It's not even really so much about the fighter. It's just I see a certain situation and I see something that's obviously wrong with it, and everybody just wants to look the other way or turn a blind eye, you know, just whatever it is. And that just doesn't sit well with me. That's why I get so angry when it comes to this subject, because it's clear as day something was wrong, and we're on this shit about a win is a win, and people just have to move on when those same people were begging and hoping for a miracle and they got one, and they think that they don't owe the other person something else.
And who wants to move on?
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, bro.
I feel what everybody's saying. I feel everything that everybody's saying. And with that being said, one time before on one of my old videos, I said something before, like just playing devil's advocate. Like I was like, man, okay, did this. If Wilder, and I feel with Brandon, and it got a lot to do with Brandon say too. If Wilder accused these people of this, why did he never bring proof? No proof. He never produced any proof. And now I'm kind of understanding kind of what Brad is saying too. Like, if you're gonna accuse Mark Breland of that, I'm not defending nobody. I just want to show, you know, equal basis. If you're gonna accuse Mark Breland of spiking your water or something like that, why not produce the proof?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see that's the thing though. That's the master. I mean, you have to prove a conspiracy and all this extra stuff, and it make it so much more harder. But certain aspects of it you might can, and certain things you're not gonna ever be able to do. So that's the part of the conspiracy. So it make it hard. But like the aspect of your trainer saying, "Well, I never gave you water," and you can see him give you the water. That's a question.
Nah.
So all you have to do is keep presenting the doubt, and after a while, I mean, you look at that. You look at the fact that he threw the towel in on the command of a guy that was on the opposite team. You know, I mean, a lot of these little things line up to make you question, and that's all. You know, the doubt is about all you really can do because you're not going to have the facts. Here's the video. Here's the hit. This is the guy. You know, you're not going to get like that.
Hold on. But they did say before that it was supposed to be video. Because remember, let's go back. I got a lot of different theories on this fight too. Because first of all, just before we even talk about the water or whatever, I just want to get this point out before.
Yeah.
I was uncomfortable from the beginning when Wilder arrived to the arena with his fiance or wife.
That was odd.
That right there was a red flag to me.
Yeah, she should have been in the.
I've never seen fighters come to the arena with their wife, besides Manny Pacquiao, and he just lost too.
Yeah, and he stayed with him the whole time back there. He'd over there laying on like that.
And I never seen that with Manny Pacquiao either. But this last fight, when he lost, his wife was with him 24/7 until he walked in that ring.
You gotta keep that soft and
and I'm like,
stuff away from you.
A lot of people say Deontay Wilder ain't have no legs.
Yeah.
Now, before the fight, when they was in the dressing room, my man was curled up in the fetal position.
Yeah,
I saw that at the weigh-in.
He was cuddled up in the fetal position.
Yeah,
laying on his woman's leg. And I'm telling my wife watching the fight, like, hold on, this ain't normal.
You're supposed to be in war mode. You ain't supposed to be around no. Ain't nothing keep smelling salt nowhere near you.
He's too quick, too comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, man, something ain't right. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, he gets ready for the fight. He comes out in the suit, and then you know what the rest will happen. So I'm just saying, like, man, and I feel what Brandon's saying, that, like, if you're gonna accuse somebody of doing something, because we didn't have professional coaches on the show, and I'm just gonna keep it 100. Every person that we asked about Mark Breland has felt like, no, Deontay Wilder's lying. Every person told us that. Not Deontay Wilder lying. He lying. So I'm just keeping it real. So I kind of feel what Brandon can say, like, well, maybe PBC and them guys like, man, hold on. Yeah. You accuse this man of doing this. At least produce the proof.
Yeah.
Well, Deontay says something about in his post fight. He says something about his leg. If you remember that, he said he messed up his leg in camp. So, I mean, I think there's a whole bunch of things going behind the scenes, and we'll find out the truth after this third fight. We'll find out what really
gotta have the third fight. Gotta have it.
But what my whole thing is, I know what I saw in that ring, and that wasn't somebody who could move. I don't know why. Like, there's a whole bunch of things out there. But my thing is, what my friends about is just what we saw in that ring. He didn't look right.
Man,
I know it is.
As soon as he got in the ring, my wife was like, something wrong with him. What's wrong with him? Yeah, I'm like, huh? You know? And then here you go covered in monitors and stuff. You got all this old crazy stuff going on that should never went down in the first place. But instead of people saying, okay, that's a little odd. Wait a minute, we need to make sure we get this so everybody know everything is on the up and up. They, the Fury's a jokester. That bullshit, you know.
Well, my only thing is this with it is this. I think basically we had this discussion before about the whole gloves issue. And there's photos where I can say, look, I have no proof that the gloves were tampered, but the photo makes me think something could have happened. And I have no problem saying, look, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't have any proof of it, but you give me something that say, look, maybe. And I think the issue is when you talk about spiking your water, after seeing it was your suit, which I think it actually was his suit that caused maybe some issues. I'm 6'5", Wilder's 6'7". Tall guys, we have back, knee, and ankle problems really easy. And if you put me in a 50-pound suit and make me walk out there, it's easy for me to hurt an ankle, hurt a knee, because I'm not really built to carry that extra weight. Wilder doesn't have big legs. That 50-pound thing he carried, that's a lot to carry for a guy who has small legs like that. He's not like LeBron James size. So maybe he was hurt, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I just hate, and I will say this, I am biased towards it. I hate when black men in boxing get accused of something like that, because it is hard enough for black promoters, managers, trainers to get the respect that they deserve. And I hate and I'll tell anybody, I am not the biggest fan of PBC, Top Rank, or anybody at all, but I hate for there to be that type of doubt thrown to their reputation. I hate, even if Wilder didn't say it, but Wilder's fiance said it, and maybe he didn't tell her that, oh no, I didn't say that. That's fine. I hate for that to happen, because what happened is this: the second a PBC fighter does fail a drug test, they can say, well, PBC set me up, because you see how they set up Wilder. See, Wilder said they set him up too. They set me up, and now it becomes his reputation, and there's proof in one issue and accusations in the other. And I hate that, because then what happens ultimately is black boxers will suffer. Not just boxing, black boxers will suffer. And black boxers are probably the hardest fighters to get the push, the acknowledgement, and the money that they should get.
They don't have the support that like we were speaking of earlier, WBC and Reynoso clan. I mean, they line ironclad all the way around. They in a protective bubble. So I get what you're saying about that for sure, man. But
what I think about the whole Breland thing is I'm looking at it like logistically, kind of like, I don't care if he was accused of, I mean, shit, like he literally got paid checks for 10 straight years without really having to do much of anything, and at the same time he would run his mouth about Deontay behind the scenes to people. So for him to get, and walk out of the corner in the first fight, and then now he gets accused of spiking Wilder, and now like it's all crashing down for him. Nah, it's kind of it coming back around for all the stuff he did years ago with so I don't really feel bad for him.
Yeah, that is a good point though, because a lot of people we also talked to behind the scenes that said that, well, he didn't have a great work ethic, he wouldn't do this, and he wouldn't listen, and he wasn't disciplined. That did go around pretty strong. But now you're looking at it with Malik Scott, and you can't say you see any of that. Maybe hey, something to that. But I mean, that's like he was assassinating his character, trying to say that he didn't really work hard. Like he just went in there and just hit somebody with the right hand and went on. So
who do you see holds the pads before Malik Scott? Who did you see holding the pads for Deontay? Coach Cuz and JD's on the body bag. I saw one clip of Breland holding the pads.
Yeah, they replayed it like a million times.
Yeah, and that's it. And he never did it again.
Yeah.
So I mean, Breland.
It's some things going both ways on it. I see what you're saying, but
I mean, he should be lucky he got all that, and he should just leave it at that. Yeah. The whole he didn't point somebody.
He's not training nobody else now.
Yeah, he probably. I mean, just Evander Holyfield's son, but that probably won't last.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, he worked with the Charlo brothers occasionally. He works with them, not as their head trainer, but he works with them in their preparation for fights. He still works on a PBC fight.
I heard that he came to the camp, but I didn't know he was okay. Okay, all right. I'll tell you one thing.
I don't think he'll ever work as a head trainer.
About damn jab against that Castano fight.
Yeah, I don't think Breland has ever been a head trainer, like an official head trainer.
He was,
but yeah, I mean, was he a head the official one with Wilder?
Yeah, he was official. He was the head one for Deontay.
Okay. Well, but like I said, there's some knowledge he can give you. But, I think, he's not going to hurt for people finding a good trainer, because it's hard to find a good trainer, especially somebody who says, look, I work with fighters who are at that level where they need somebody to almost be their therapist or psychiatrist. because the more successful you become in boxing, the more your trainer becomes like your personal psychiatrist to help you deal with the nervousness and certain things of boxing. I've had guys tell me before in boxing that, when they had that one big fight, their trainer was the one person who kept them calm because they were super nervous. And I think breathing can bring something to the table, like saying, you got to be the traveling fighter. You're the B-side. They're calling you names. They're screaming at you. They're booing you. They want you to lose. You're trying to zone that out. I can kind of tell you what I did before, and that might help you. So get that knowledge. Because a lot of trainers who are good but never been in a situation, they may not know what to tell you.
That's more of the mental side, and that mental is a big part. But I do think at the end of the day, groundwork needs to be done. If you're not even really doing the groundwork, you're just letting other guys do the work for you, like Coach Cuz and JD's, doing the stuff behind the scenes, doing all the groundwork, and you come in, swoop in, and take the credit. And in a fight, you actually walk out of the corner because Deontay's not listening to you. It's kind of like, man, like, do I really want him as a trainer? Like, I've seen more work with Malik in this past year than I've ever seen with Breland over the past 10 years,
Yeah, exactly. And let me add one thing. What I also can correlate is, you remember Mike Tyson against Buster Douglas and Aaron Snow? And Aaron is in there like, Mike, you gotta go, Mike. You gotta stand. Mike, you got Mike. We in a war now. And this soft talking, Mike, be careful, Mike. You listen, Mike. Mike is like, man, get the fuck out of my face. I'm in some real shit right now. That also applied to Mark Breland. Throw the jab. Throw your jab. You make sure you throw it, okay? Throw the jab. Man, get the fuck away from me, man. I'm about to go in here and handle this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It kind of offbeat you. Now,
I think it's Deontay's mistake for keeping him for so long.
True.
It's his mistake for keeping him for so long. He really should have got rid of him. I knew that's why they got rid of that was part of the reason why they got rid of Russ Amber. Yeah. Because he makes the is he Rival. His gloves are right. He actually owns Rival, the people who make gloves, and he was the cut man. He was in camp for a while, and there was some issues between him and Breland.
Yeah,
and that was before the first DeVerne fight. That was like 2014, 2015.
But I give Breland credit though. He did teach him that motherfucking that how to throw that fucking right hand behind that jab. That's a classic Mark Breland. I mean, he got that motherfucker to it. That was conveyed to him. He did get that from him. I gotta say, you can put the photo of two fights, one of Deontay and one of Mark Breland back in the day. You put them up. It looks like the same fight. I mean, so I give him credit for that. But some other things that make me kind of shake my head.
Yeah, I kind of look at it from the Olympics, like him in the Olympics to now. Is if you like real talk, he's not it's not a major difference. So when where's the trainer at? You can't tell me, oh man, he doesn't want to listen. Listen, in 2012, you're saying he doesn't want to listen in 2012, where he don't really have no money. He's fighting for $500. He wants to get paid. He's gonna listen. So if you're not doing work, then just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. He really should have got rid of and found somebody else.
I disagree with you on that.
Had to do with Mark Breland's career, because when he fought Aaron Davis, all he had was that 1-2. And then when he slipped and he stepped in, he got caught, and it was lights out. And that pretty much was the end of his career. Because he didn't have the other skills. But that was something he did so well. He had so perfected. He lived off that. So
but see, I disagree. Like Coach Ronald, he had a long talk with us before about how your trainer only goes to a certain point, and your trainer really isn't teaching you anything else. Your trainer's not really, you're not really learning from the trainer. You're learning from the things the trainer puts you into. That's how you build a fighter. If you got a guy that's 0-0, you put him in fights where he's going to learn, see something different, see something new, see something different. And I can't say how good of a trainer or what Breland has done and did for Wilder, but I do think Wilder, being a champion and being in that many fights he's been in, should be able to say, okay, something's wrong, and if it's poison water, a heavy suit, whatever the issue is that he wants to say that it is, he just, okay, you know what? I need to make a change. And he could fire Breland and say, okay, I need to switch trainers. And that would have been, nobody would have probably said anything because fighters switch trainers. But to say, well, you were mad, he threw a towel in, and then they have accusations behind it, that's where a lot of the frustration with Wilder comes from. Because most fighters will fire their trainer and say they didn't do a good job. I'm going to switch. But when you fire your trainer and then say that this whole poison water thing goes on, it's now saying, look, regardless of how good of a trainer you also are a cheat now. And that's the thing that I can't stand for. I can stand for you saying maybe he didn't teach you anything good, and that happens. But don't destroy reputation and make those kind of accusations. Don't do that, especially if you don't have any proof to it.
Yeah, fellas. Hey, fellas, man, it's been awesome, man. But I'm gonna have to dip, man. Hey, man, I'll be back again next week, man. And look out for me this week, man. We're gonna start doing some things this week and get things back rolling again. Appreciate everything, my brother Basement Box Talk had me on, man. My good brother Brandon over here, man. Yeah, we still got to link up, man. You're in H-Town now, bro.
You got my number, don't you?
Yeah, I got you. I meant to hit you up, man. I got a little thunder, but we'll link up, bro, for sure, man. Appreciate
text me so I can put you in my phone.
Okay. My good brother Tyrone, man. Good to see you, good brother, man. You and D5 Gabe, everybody, man. Everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for coming by, support my brother Basement, man. Keep checking him out every Saturday, man. He's gonna keep coming at you, man. You know he don't quit, man. So hey, hang in there with us, man. But peace and blessings to everybody, man. But I got to dip.
Okay. Damn, everybody did though. All right.
I ain't tell y'all, I'm talking about me.
Everybody did.
Man, next time I ain't gonna say that, man. They roll out, man.
They rolled out. I'm like, whoa. That's cool.
Yeah, man, I wasn't closing the show. This basement show. Y'all come on back and holler at Basement, man. That ain't right, bro.
All right, brother. Hey, it's cool, bro. Hey, it's cool. I'm gonna see if they come back on. If not, hey, I just keep it for next week.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, also the fantasy football league we got, man. If y'all interested in the fantasy football league, please check out my community page. I'm going to post a post today. We're trying to have the draft on, I believe it was Tuesday. Jump in the league. What we're going to do is put a $20 entry fee, but we don't have to pay it right now. Just jump in now, have the draft, and we're going to set a date to have your money in by. Okay, that's the only to ensure that everybody stays in throughout the season. And that's all we know. And then we're going to talk about that. We have a show about the fantasy football and everything. So if you haven't played, you want to get in, man, come on in. You're going to learn how to play the game. You're going to know all, how everything goes, what you look at and everything like that. Just come on in, chop it up with me and my brother Basement, man, because, that's what we do, man. We chop it up. All right, my brother, but I got to dip, my man. But I'm going to hit you later, though.
All right, cool.
All right, my brother.
All right. Yeah. It's been another good show. I appreciate everybody for coming out, listening to me, or whatever, But it was a couple things I still did want to chop it up on. But I guess I'll leave you guys with this. The WBA just mandated the Tank and Rolly fight. Next week, I want you guys' opinion on what's going on, how you guys gonna like that fight. We got two guys from the PBC Mayweather camp, two guys who actually, Tank has been actually training. Oh, look, Coach popped up right before, there he went back out. Yeah, we got two guys in the Mayweather gym who was supposed to be mandated to fight. That's something to think about. That's something to really think about. We got two guys out of the Mayweather gym is mandated to fight each other. Oh, we got a coach in the building.
Hello?
Yeah, coach, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I'm late. I just got out the gym.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Everybody they had closed it. Black Star said he was leaving, and the whole show closed on me.
Oh man.
Hey, but
Sorry about that.
I was still here talking. Hey, yeah, okay. We talked a little bit. I'm freshen you up on some of the things we talk about, and so I can get your opinion on some of the things that we talked about. We discussed the WBA made everybody give away the intern belts. They stripped everybody of the intern belts. What's your opinion on that?
Oh, well, I'm a little, I'm a little different from everybody else. Everybody wants less belts. I like more belts because it allows more people to get paid, more money. So I'm for the boxers, because I was once a boxer, and I can care less about the fans.
Right.
I don't care if the fans if they don't understand who's the champion. That's on them. But the more belts, the more money, the more fights. You know, that's the way I see it. I might be, I'm not to say I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel. I feel the more belts, the more fights for the fighters, and the more opportunity to make money.
Right. And that's what some of the people on the panel was saying the same thing. And some people was in disagreement. Some people said we don't need all them belts. And I'm siding with you. I kind of feel what you saying, being that you are a trainer and you were before a professional boxer. So from the boxer standpoint, it's like, man, hey, we get more money for these titles, and why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I understand that.
Yeah.
That's another thing we discussed too. This was big, man, about how they pushed this Valdez this testing positive up under the table. Up under the table. So we say, listen, I asked Brandon, I say, Brandon, when Canelo tested positive for his PD, wasn't that the WBC who gave him that 6-month suspension? So we never came to a conclusion on that, but we knew he did take a 6-month suspension. We don't know if it was the WBC or whatever. I'm not blaming them. But what we did say, and I did ask him, is I remember when they first started this VADA testing, the WBC was one of the first titles that was behind this. Oh yeah, clean boxing.
Yep.
And now we in the day of time where Canelo had tested positive. They swept it up under the rug. We're in a time where a black female smokes a joint and she gets banned out of the Olympics, where it is legalized to smoke marijuana in the state that she lives in. But then here we go. We have another fighter who's of Mexican descent, and he tested positive twice. And they like, hey, the show must keep going. So with that being said, I know you might have a lot to say, Coach. What stops a cheater from cheating? If you can cheat, if there's no punishment for cheating, what stops a cheater from cheating? I'm gonna pass the mic to you.
I think you're right. I think you're wrong in saying that I might have a lot to say. Hey, I don't have a lot to say on this one, but I will say that mixing the track and field up with boxing is, like apples and oranges. I wouldn't do that, but you do have a point with the boxers, and it seemed like one team they got like 4 people that done tested positive from the same
Right.
team. That's a problem. That's a big problem. And
And they gave that man trainer of the year, and all his fighters are testing positive.
that's not a good thing. That's not a good look. That's
Man,
not a
they
good
gave
look
that
at
man.
all. I mean, I don't know.
They gave that man trainer of the year over Derrick James, man.
Wow. Well, basement Bob, you
You
already
want
know where we at. We know where we at. We know where we at. So hey, we got to do some. Hey, it just steps us up to, we got to do some spectacular stuff, and guess what? It's just raising the bar for us. You know, we we can't do like everybody else do. Okay, and get recognition for it. We got to
right.
do pressure. And, I mean, so it ain't changed. So, we got everybody. We got to be greater than great, and always. But guess what? He got to do better, and I think that he's going to accept that challenge to do better. That's the type of guy he is.
Okay. You was going in and out a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
I
I
was just
got.
saying that we got to be greater than great. We can't be like everybody else. We can't be normal. We can't be average. We can't be a little above average. We got to be great in everything we do. And
So
I was talking about Derek James. I think he's the type of person he's going to accept that challenge.
okay. With that being said, like, and we got a lot of big fights coming up. So if this title fight gets swept up under the rug like that, what stops one of these other title fights from the same thing happening? And then, okay, if the same thing happening, you can't punish another fighter if you just swept it up under the rug for another fight.
We can't tell them what to do. We can't tell them what they cannot do, because guess what? Let's say okay, Shakur's in that weight class. Let's say Shakur showed a little. Hey, guess what? He's gonna get punished. He's gonna get punished. They're gonna ban him. So guess what? You can't do that. That's just how it is. It's always been that way. We know how it's been. We know where we at. Basement boxing talk. We know where we at.
Right. I understand you, coach. I understand.
And we can't make no excuses. We just got to do. And
Right.
the stack is gonna be. I mean, the deck is gonna be stacked every time. Always has been.
Exactly.
And we still excel. That's the thing about it.
Yes, sir. So also too, we talked about Brandon Figueroa fighting Cool Boy Steph. What's your opinion on that fight?
Are you fighting? What is it? Fortune? Is it Fortune you're talking
That's
about?
Fortune. Yeah, that's Fortune is Cool Boy Steph. Yeah.
Okay, I don't really I remember Fortune as an amateur, and I know he's got a belt now. I haven't watched him too much, so I don't have too much. I don't have I was in India for a while. I've been in India for 5 years, so I ain't really been able to watch a whole lot of boxing. But I see that Fortin has stepped up. He stepped his game up from the amateur ranks, and he got him a belt. So that's great to hear.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. Him fighting Brandon Figueroa, another undefeated fighter. Brandon Figueroa in his last fight, I didn't really think he was doing too good during the fight because he was, they say styles make fights. I didn't think the particular style of fight the guy was his opponent was meant for him. But no D, Brandon still got the knockout in the later rounds, and kept his undefeated record, and he got the belt. And them guys, him and Cool Boy Steph Fulton, are going at it September the 18th. Also on that undercard, we was talking about Gary Antonio Russell's on that undercard.
Okay, is he fighting the same guy?
Yeah, and Alejandro Barros.
Say that again.
I guess it's Alejandro. I can't pronounce it.
Oh, it's the same guy that they bump heads. They the same guy.
Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah.
I was able to watch that guy Montana Love fight.
Right.
Hey, I thought he did pretty good. I thought he did pretty good. Montana Love.
Yes, he did. He was impressive. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. He shocked the fans, didn't he?
Actually, that's the first time I seen them fight. But I seen him I seen him doing the stuff on the mitts. The dancing with the mitts and stuff. But he's pretty talented, man. He reminds me of one of them Ohio guys like Bronner and Rashid, because they are super talented, man. Super talented.
Rashid Warren. Hey, that'll be a good fight. That's nice that you brought him up because he right there at that 122 weight division right there with Cool Boy Steph and Figueroa. Woo! That'll be a nice one.
Oh, Rashid's something else, man. I'm telling you.
That'll be a nice one. Rashid Warren against the winner of the Fulton and Figueroa fight.
Hey,
122. Hey, that'll be perfect for him.
I had to go with Rashid on that one.
Yeah.
On both of them. Rashid, that guy's something else, man. I seen him for a long time. That dude is he's a super talent. I think sometimes, he's so talented that he ain't. I mean, it's hard for him to be challenged, and he's got to find some type of way to challenge himself, to keep his skill to increasing. But when you get to a level like he's at, it's like he could do whatever he want with anybody, and it's hard for him to be challenged. So that's one thing I've noticed about him for years, and he's got to be able to challenge himself, in my opinion.
Yeah, his last fight ended in a knockout. What was it? Third round, third round.
Nasty knockout. Nasty.
Hey, that was nasty. It was like he came out looking for the knockout too. Like man, I'm coming to make a statement. I want a title. I want to win real quick. Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
It was definitely exciting.
Yeah, he's nasty.
What else were we talking about? Oh, your main man. He coming up. His fight coming up next month. Jamal Herring, Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah. You know, I had trained Jamel. I trained Jamel with the Marine team, and also helps train Shakur as well. Um, I'm not too happy for that fight, but hey, they gotta make their money. You know, I already know who's in my mind. I know who's gonna win. Yeah, and it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be tough as people think it is, and not putting anybody down. I'm not talking bad about Jamel, but I just think Shakur is on a whole nother level, man. And Jamel is a hard worker. I mean, he's gonna come in condition. Jamel is, he's always in tremendous condition.
Exactly.
I think that Shakur's on a whole nother level, and Jamel's gonna come in and fight, but I think Shakur is gonna show the level that he's on, and I don't think he's gonna knock. I don't think he's gonna knock Jamel out, but I think that Jamel's corner is gonna throw in the towel.
Wow.
Jamel's not gonna quit.
Wow.
That's what I think. I mean, but hey,
no. Yeah, coach. I just said, hey, that's kind of impressive coming from you, because that's impressive. I mean, everybody entitled to your opinion, and I respect your opinion, coach. And it's funny because I was just talking to some people the other day, and they were saying the same thing. And I always sometimes play devil's advocate just to give a fighter the benefit of the doubt. So I say, well, okay, did this. You saying that Shakur Stevenson's gonna get a stoppage or a knockout? And I asked him, like, well, how many stoppages does Shakur have for real? Out of 15 fights, I think he only got 5 or 6. He got 6 stoppages, I believe. So I was asking the guy, like, what makes you so confident that Shakur Stevenson will get a stoppage in this fight?
I just know Shakur, and I'm not saying that Jamel is gonna quit, okay? Because he's not gonna quit.
No.
I think that he's gonna be taking some punches, and his coach Bo Mack is not gonna allow him to take those punches. That's what I'm thinking. And the Jamel's gonna come out fighting. I'm telling you, he's gonna come out fighting. He's gonna fight.
Is it just say is your way of thinking like this because maybe you know the different type of training that Shakur Stevenson goes through to get prepared for these fights? Would it be the lack of preparation, or would it be just out skilled? The Shakur Stevenson is just really is really too much of a match for Jamal Herring. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying Shakur's on a whole nother level.
Right.
Shakur's on a whole nother level. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna say nothing about this sparring, but I just got through seeing him and Regis Prograis sparring, and oh my god!
Yes.
I can't say nothing about it, but I was like, oh my god!
Hey, that would have been a nice one to see too. That would have been a nice one to see.
Yeah, nobody's got it in the recording. They didn't let nobody record in there or nothing. But all I can say is, oh my god!
Yes, sir.
Shakur's a bad dude, man. I'm telling you, he's a bad dude.
Hey, and the thing is, I see the interview he did. He said he's staying at 130. He coming to stay there at 130 for a minute. He want to hang around. Said he want to hang around for a minute at 130. So with Tank giving up his belt at 130, hey, that division looks real. Hey, listen, why come Gary Russell can't move up and fight Shakur Stevenson?
I ain't gonna say nothing, man. Hey, I'm telling you, Listen to me.
Hey,
Basement Boxing Talk.
I seen an interview with Shakur say that, man. A lot of these guys say they want that smoke on camera, but at the end of the day, they really do not want that smoke when it comes down to signing that pen to that paper.
I'm telling you, Shakur is on a whole nother level. I'm telling you.
I understand what you're saying.
If people don't understand it, okay, sometimes they like a lot of people criticize man. I love the way he boxed his last bout. Okay, look.
Yeah. See, people got mad at him, coach. People got mad.
But look at this Basement Boxing Talk. Check this out. That guy, he had just come off of his 10th knockout. His 10th consecutive knockout.
Yeah.
Look, but you know when Shakur touched him to the body, what did the guy do? His mind kind of changed a little bit.
Right.
His mind changed a little bit.
See, I think it was one thing I believe that Shakur said that maybe he shouldn't have said. It might be because he young or whatever. It was Shakur said, man, well, you know, I went in there for the knockout. I tried to get the fans what they want a knockout. But I got touched. And I didn't like that. So I got back to boxing. And I'm cool with that. But you got a lot of fans, a lot of boxing critics, they just get to talking stuff like, man, you know, Shakur can't take a punch.
Why do you want to take a punch?
They criticize Devin Haney for the same thing. Devin Haney get in the ring and he started going, he was in there for a knockout, looking for a knockout. He got caught with a nice punch, but he clearly dominated the fight. But all boxing critics can say is Devin Haney got rocked. He got rocked. So, you know, a lot of people say, well, Shakur, he too pretty. He talking about he ain't like getting touched. Don't nobody like getting punched.
Hey, that's not the object. That's not the object of the sport. The object is to hit and not be hit. That's what I've heard.
You got
that's
so many. You got
hit
so
and not be hit.
You got so many boxing critics that sit up here and they criticize people just because they don't go in there with the guerrilla mentality or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me tell you a little something. Dogs do not last. They don't have a long lifespan. Dogs, they come in and their lifespan is very short. Even Mike Tyson. Okay, he was a dog. He didn't live long. Okay, what's the guy? All the dogs, they get a little time at the top, and then they get killed off.
Exactly.
Okay? The boxers, they're the one that have the long lives, like a Floyd Mayweather, like a Andre Ward. Okay, right. Dogs don't last. Dogs, they get their 15 minutes in the sun, and then they get taken out. That's just how it is.
Right. Oh, let's see. Let me get your opinion. Oh, another thing, the WBA mandated Rolly and Tank Davis at 135. What's your opinion?
I say Tank. I say Tank. Tank. I think that's another stoppage coming too.
Okay, it is. My thing of it is, since you're a coach, how does that work? We got two guys that's under the same umbrella, but I'm saying also too is Tank trains in Vegas now at the Mayweather gym. And then Rolly is a Mayweather fighter too, and he's been training at the Mayweather gym. So how does that work, Coach?
To tell the truth, I couldn't tell
Have
you.
you ever seen? Have you ever seen that scenario play out before?
Were two people working in the same gym fight?
Yeah.
Hey, I've seen two friends fight, two good friends fight. Hey, they
Yeah.
making money. I remember Chris Bird fought Darrell Williamson. I'm like, man, what y'all fighting for? Darrell like, man, I gotta feed my family.
But I'm just saying, like, man, two guys are the same. They train in the same gym. Like, have you ever seen two guys that train in the same gym fight each other for a title fight? This is possibly a pay-per-view fight.
Hey, I think that if they're in the same gym, that gym is bringing in a lot of cash. They're bringing a lot of money. Somebody making something.
Yeah,
Somebody
Mayweather.
getting a cut from both of them.
Mayweather.
That's some Don King stuff right there. That's some Don King knowledge right there.
Hey, because I mean, hey, they just announced that, man, and like, Rolly been calling Tank out. Like, he even turned down Devin Haney. He said Devin Haney was a paper champ, and that he wanted to fight a real champion.
Isn't Devin Haney with them too? Devin Haney's from the same gym as well.
Yeah, Devin Haney. Yeah, you're right. Devin was training in that same gym too. Hey, but the difference is that Devin Haney's not a Mayweather promotion fighter though. Okay. So that would be the only difference. This right here, we have Tank, who was a Mayweather promotion fighter, Rolly, who was a Mayweather promotion fighter, and they both train in the same gym.
But Mayweather's smart then. Mayweather's smart. Floyd smart then. He doing a Don King move. Now this all he got to do is, if Tank wins, all he had to say, hey, if you want to fight Tank for his belt, hey, I'll let you fight him. But hey, the next 7 fights gonna be under Mayweather Promotions. That's all he got to do now. Whether you win or lose.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What do you think? Well, okay, so this too. We also talked about this too. Time is ticking, and they pushed the purse bid back. So on Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. So you think that maybe sometime this week we should be hearing an announcement or something?
Hey, Basement Boxing Talk. When it comes to stuff like that, I don't have a clue about anything like that. I don't have a clue about anything about what they're doing with purse bids or anything like that. Maybe Brandon can tell you something about that, but I know nothing about. I don't even know how they do that stuff. So I don't have a clue what's gonna happen when they fight. They fight. I think it'll be a good fight.
Okay, when you fought professionally, you never had a fight ever go to a purse bid?
No, I was low level, man. I didn't fight on that level. I didn't make that level. I was an older guy. I didn't start boxing until I was 21. And when I was 21, I stayed around forever trying to get better. Was with the 88. I went out for the 88 trials, 92 trials, 96 trials. That's 12. That's 12 years right there as an amateur. And then I wasn't gonna turn pro, but I needed some money, so I went ahead and turned pro. And I needed some money for a lawyer. So I was like, okay, I need to turn pro. So I went ahead and turned pro, and just fighting on wherever I can fight.
Okay. Right. That's
So I
pretty
was
good.
I wasn't on the level. I wasn't on the level of these guys that's getting having purse bids and stuff like that. I was like, hey, I'm trying to get on the show. Hey, give me a fight. You know.
Right. That's cool. What else? What else was on the discussion that we had? We talked about first we had, okay. What's your opinion? Do you think do you think it's getting close to this too? You think we're gonna get the Wilder and Fury 3 fight, or do you think it's gonna be get pushed back again? Something's gonna mysteriously happen or
I hope
whatever.
I hope we get it, man. I hope we get it, and I hope that they both want to prove something because I tell you the first two fights to me, I mean even though Dante uh, uh, Wilder got stopped in the second one, to me their fights have been basically boring to me.
Right.
So I hope for this third one they live up to their they exceed the expectations of the first one and the second one because you know make it like it should be and both of them come 100% ready to fight. You know that's what I'm hoping. So
Yes, sir. Who do you got a prediction on that fight yet?
I think I think Wilder's going to end up catching him, taking him out.
Me too.
I don't know, man. That's three fights. I'm saying it's getting stopped. Maybe today my mind is just in the stoppages. I don't know, but it's just an opinion, man. I mean, it doesn't make me right.
Oh no, no,
Everybody
no.
has an opinion, whether
Hey,
you
yeah,
get into boxing or not.
on this
You
show
know,
we ask opinions. Everybody entitled to their opinion. I just wanted to hear your opinion. We gave our opinions earlier. Uh Kale Plant, Canelo. Do you like the fight?
I like it for Caleb. I like the fight for Caleb because it puts him on a whole another level. You know, and Caleb has come a long ways, man, from his amateur days, when he first got on the national team. You know, he has improved. He has improved drastically, and also his financial situation has improved tremendously. So I'm very happy for him, and this takes him on a whole. Him fighting Canelo takes him to a whole nother level. Now, I think with Canelo is right now Canelo. He's the best out there right now. But the problem I see with Canelo and with many people is that when you feel like you're invincible, that's when your downfall comes. And right now, it's looking to me that Canelo is feeling like he's invincible. And I explain this way. Before I used to watch Canelo when he hit in the bag and training, everything was tight. Everything was tight. You know, his punches was tight. Now he's become invincible in his mind, and now his punches he's opening and he's throwing his hooks from way out here, and like no one can hurt him. He's setting himself up for his downfall, in my opinion. And now, when you stay disciplined, you can last for a long time. But when you start getting careless and thinking that that you can't be beat, that's when the surprise comes. And it might happen. It might happen here.
Yep. Say, hey, that's gonna be one tremendous fight, man.
Mm.
I know Canelo took Kale Plant through the ringer, on this contract. It's all type of crazy stuff. I know if Canelo loses, it's a rematch. If Canelo wins, I don't think it's necessarily a rematch.
But hey, if you're the man, you have the right to demand those things. You have that right.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you don't. Hey, if I'm the man, hey, I'm giving you the opportunity to fight me. And guess what? You should say to me, "Thank you." You should say thank you, because guess
Hey,
what? I'm letting you on. I'm bringing you up to a whole nother level just by giving you the opportunity. Can you hear me, basement boxing talk? Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you, coach. I hear you, coach.
Yeah, but people, I mean, hey, you gotta, hey, if I'm not on that level, when I say that level, I'm talking about bringing in money bringing in money on that level, and someone that's got that money and bring me up to that level where I'm getting paid the highest payday that I've ever gotten. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to knock him off the throne, but also I'm gonna be grateful to him and say, hey man, thank you. This is just what I needed. In more ways than one. I needed the inspiration. I needed I needed my bills paid. I need to take care of my family. Hey, and you made this possible. Thank you very much. But hey, now I'm gonna beat you up. Hey, I still thank you. I'm gonna beat you up, and it's gonna allow me to make even more money.
Right.
I hate that I'm just talking about money because I'm not really a money, type of person. But guess what? When it comes down to it, that's what it's about, man. It's about, them working and getting paid for the work that they put in.
Right. And if Caleb Plant wins this fight, like you say, this is gonna be real life changing.
Exactly.
Real life changing.
Exactly.
It's like going from a thousandaire to 100 millionaire.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, man, because man, if he dethrones what they quote unquote the critics say the great Canelo, man, and he unifies these titles. Wow.
Hey, basement boxing talk. Hey,
Yes, sir.
real talk. This is a Rocky story. The real
Yeah,
Rocky story.
yeah, you're right. A guy who came from from nothing.
Yes.
I mean, Caleb Plant already has a story, but
Yep.
this right here, man, will put him on top, man.
Hey, you know what? He win this fight, they might make a movie about him. I'm
You know
telling you.
what? Hey, yeah, because man, I'm just. This is like, man. This is one accomplishment in boxing that only few can just dream of. Like, I'm just saying, man. Just okay, we okay, for all the fans, everybody who listening, I'm gonna give you a better example. When Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, you see how his life changed?
Yeah.
He was on every TV show,
Yep.
Jimmy Kimmel, everything.
Yep.
And not to say that Caleb Plant has not already seen that, but will be a different magnitude. Like it's just like from a person who went from making $50,000, $100,000 a year working hard, working their butt off hard a year to somebody saying, man, here's $100 million, man.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying about being grateful for having the opportunity, even for him even giving him the opportunity to have a fight. But it's on Kel Plant to make the real big difference and
Exactly.
go in that ring and make history and change his life forever.
Yep. Yep.
With that being said, just not just predicting the future. If Canelo loses, where do you see Canelo going in boxing?
Oh. If he loses, like you said, he got that rematch clause.
Right.
So of course he'll get that rematch. But I think that if he get him one time, he'll be able to get him a second time, long as he don't do what Ruiz did.
Right. Right. Hey, Ruiz was too happy with that one moment. If he would have buckled down and said, "Listen, it's already a rematch clause in effect. I know this is in effect. Let me not get too hot-headed. Stay focused. Stay in the gym. Stay doing everything I did to win this fight. Because I know the fight coming back up in 6 months. I ain't got time to go party for 90 days and then go try to train for 90 days. No.
But basement boxing talk. The problem with that is that you keep getting calls from people like Jimmy Kimmel.
Hey, I understand that, but at some point, it's like, man, hold on. You got to put some of that stuff on hold. You got to put some of that stuff on hold, coach.
Exactly. You got to be disciplined. But hey,
I mean, if Jimmy Kimmel was paying if he was paying a bill or two, hey, I'll be there 10 minutes before it's time for me to come on.
but see, hey, but that's the problem with boxing. You know, first the sport is addictive. Then after sports gets addictive, once you make it, that fame is what gets addictive. It ain't about the sport no more. It's about that fame. You gotta have that everywhere you go. Somebody's calling your name. That gets addictive.
Right.
And I was just talking about that not too long ago about all these old athletes. Yeah, some of these young athletes, they do things, and the old athletes, they say something that's kind of negative, and people say they haters. You know what? They haters. they are haters because they ain't getting attention no more. They see these young athletes getting. That's all of them, including your boy Jordan.
Right.
They ain't getting that attention, and when they see all these, for Jordan to say that Curry should not be, he should not be in the Hall of Fame right now, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem. You hating, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ah, man. Yeah, coach. Hey, it's been good, man. I'm trying to think. What else? What other good fights we got coming up, man? What else good going on in the boxing?
I'm trying to think. Right now I'm back, and I'm working with some amateurs here, and I guess they got some nationals coming up here shortly.
Yeah, they do. In
You know,
December, ain't it?
yes, in December in Shreveport.
Yeah.
I think in Shreveport. So I'll definitely be back there, and some of these Olympians they should be fighting here shortly, like Keyshawn and the heavyweight, the super heavyweight, maybe even Troy. Yeah, Troy is fighting on that card on the 23rd.
Okay. So you've been working with some amateurs too, huh?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm in Houston right now, and I'm in the gym. I'm in a gym. A friend of mine's got a gym, Mo Better. So I'm out there. I'm out there. I go in there every day and working with the amateurs there. And every so often we go over there. And like this morning we went over to Jay Prince gym, and the kids sparred there. Uh, 2 days ago, a couple of big guys they sparred. So yeah, I like Houston. Houston pretty nice, man. Houston is pretty nice. You know, just going around to
Yeah.
see what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna make sure I get in contact with you out behind the scenes. So might have a couple guys who might need your help.
Okay, you in Houston?
No, I'm in Cincinnati.
Okay, you in Cincinnati? Yes, yes, Cincinnati. Y'all got some fighters there, man. God, they always have fighters in Ohio. Uh, that's the fighting state right there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I might know a few young guys who trying to get with you. Maybe they can come down there and get with you or something.
Okay, yeah, okay. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I ain't gonna keep your time, man. We've been on
All
here
right.
we've been on here for about 3 hours and 30 minutes almost.
Okay, I apologize for being late.
I know no problem. Hey, if you got time next Saturday, I'll send you the link, man. Jump on, man.
All right, sounds good. Once again salute Basement Boxing Talk. Uh, we'll see you. We'll see you next week. You take care, man.
All right, you too,
Thanks
man.
again.
Appreciate you, coach.
All right, thanks. Bye bye.
Hey, this is another show coming to an end. This is your boy Basement Boxing Talk. And I want to give shout outs, man, to everybody who was in here. I want to give shout outs to the panel. Good brother, Coach Sims, who just left. Appreciate him for coming through, giving his boxing knowledge and everything, his expertise. Appreciate you, Coach. My good brother Brandon that was in the building. I appreciate you, Brandon, for coming through like you always do. I appreciate you, brother, for giving your side of the boxing business, aspect of the boxing business, and just the knowledge that you know, brother. Salute to my good brother, Black Star Sports TV 2.0, coming through like he always do. My good brother, man. Salute, man. If you ain't following my good brother, man, so go to his channel, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my mans. And my good brother G5. Salute to my brother G5 for coming through. I appreciate you, good brother. It was always good to see it here and chop it up with you. He come through every weekend and do what he do. And it was my good brother TS Boxing. Hey, I appreciate you for coming through. He always in the panel, but hey, he came through today. I mean, always in the chat. He came through today. He got on the panel. I appreciate you, good brother, man. It's very good talking to you. You always got a place to come over here on Basement Boxing Talk. Get on the chat, and get on the panel. Hey, I fucks with you, my dude. It's everybody was in the chat, man. Sir Ken, I appreciate you for coming through the way you do. You come through all the time, brother. Good brother Roderick came through, man. Peace, salute. Hit the like, subscribe button, Roger, man. Tell your peoples about me, man. PGA's Big Dog. Appreciate you for coming through, bro. It's been a good one, man. He always come through, man, bringing his expertise, man. Good brother Tay Walker. He came through with the 100 and the blue heart. Appreciate you for coming through, my brother. Salute to you. And the good brother Mark Nash. Hey, he popped in and hey, I was good. Salute to him. Hey, follow my good brother Mark Nash too, man. He talk boxing, not only boxing. He talk music, hip hop. He's in the entertainment world. Go to his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to him on Instagram, all social medias, man. Good brother Mark Nash. He good people too, man. Hey. Oh, I almost forgot my good brother Bruce Goals. He was in the building, man. My good brother Bruce, man. He ain't come up and chop it up with us, but hey, Bruce old school, man. He know he got that boxing knowledge, man. Whenever you see this brother in the chat, hey, make sure you tune in, man, because if we get on the panel, he gonna bring you back some of that throwback boxing, man. He know exactly what he's talking about. Hey, this your boy Basement Boxing Talk coming to you live, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I appreciate you people for supporting me, man. Hey, it's been real and been love. Until next week, I want everybody to be safe, be cool, do what you do. I see you next Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, YouTube. Peace.